Yo, what up, people? Sorry I'm a little late. Uh, Trying to, do 20,000 things at once. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you guys are having a great day. I had a good day. We had the NIP Lite drop today, and the drop went well. Thank you to everybody who picked up a NIP Lite. It looks like Blade Binge is almost sold out. They just have a handful left. I believe traditional pocket knives is about the same, probably just a handful left. I'm not sure about White Mountain. I haven't checked there. And then we have a decent amount of each one. The purple one, surprisingly, we have a lot of the purple one. So I guess the purple one was the dog. We always try to figure out which one's going to be the dog and which one's going to be the most popular. I thought the Ultim would be the most popular, and we'll see which one, ends up selling out first if they sell out. I think those two will, the Ultim and the Blade Binge one, but we'll see. And we ordered more this time than we usually order on knives because we're hoping to have these in stock for a little while so that new people who hear about us have something to actually buy, so that you guys can pick one up, whenever you want, that kind of thing. We wanted it to kind of be the flagship knife, sort of. So that was the plan with this one. But I am surprised the purple ones are going a lot slower than the other ones. The gray did really well. And we just have, I think, like 5 or 10 of the G10 left. So anyway, thank you guys, everybody who picked one up or multiple up. I know a lot of you guys got a couple. We appreciate it. It means a lot. And thank you. I took the day off tomorrow from my day job. So my plan is to get up tomorrow and just start packing all the orders. And I should be able to get them all done before the post office closes and get them all shipped tomorrow. So that's my plan. You might see tracking like late night tonight. You might see it tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. But my goal is to have all of them shipped tomorrow for the ones you bought directly on Divo. I'm guessing the ones from the dealers, they probably already gave you tracking information. A lot of times they print the labels like right away. And for all I know, they dropped them off too. Some of those guys work really quick. But I have a day job, so I wasn't able to just do it right away. So I hope you guys are cool with that. But my plan is to get them all out tomorrow. So hopefully that is fast enough for you guys. I love the purple one. That's why I'm surprised. But I guess, you do have the blue one. Hopefully this one did well for White Mountain. And maybe that's why. Maybe people just chose blue over purple, Something has to be the last one, That's how it goes. And these two, I should say these three. So these two and the Blade Binge one are probably the most interesting or unique ones, right? So I expect those to go quicker than the others, but we'll see. Thank you, Brandon B. Shady. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. He says he grabbed 2 belt satin, 2 black ones. Wait, you got 4? Or that's insane, dude. If you did, thank you, man. Either way, thank you. You've been a huge supporter. We really appreciate it, dude. I am having Ben on. I told him to try to shoot for like 10 so I could chat with you guys for a little bit. I have a couple knives I wanted to show you that came in today that are pretty cool. And then we'll mostly talk about Jack Wolf, the Venom drop. We'll probably talk about the NIP, of course. And I want to talk about the Berg Blades Tick. I did invite Matt from Berg Blades, but I did it like in the afternoon today at like 6 o'clock. And he probably hasn't even seen my Instagram message. I should have just texted him. I have his number, but I didn't think to. But if for some reason he actually sees it and decides to jump on, he might come in. But Kathleen says, which one sold out first? I don't think any of them are sold out right now. Like I said, we ordered more this time. There was 600 of them. So we had 300, we had 300 direct on our site. We had 125 gray, 125 purple, and then we had 50 of the G10. So we ordered that many because we wanted to have this in stock. We were hoping we hit the right number. Like with the Lush, I think we hit the right number. We sold the majority of them on that first day, and now there's, however many left that can slowly kind of trickle out over the next couple of weeks, right? I don't really want them available for that much longer than that, but we're trying to balance here, right? Like selling out is awesome. It's always cool when you just have these like instant sellouts and you can tell people it's sold out in 5 minutes. But the first thing that tells me is we didn't order enough. Like we want everybody who wants one to get one because we want everyone who wants one to get one. And I guess selfishly, we could sell more. So why not? Right. But you have to balance that with not ordering too many, like with the premium pony stout. I think we overestimated that one and we ordered too many, even though we didn't order that many. I think we kind of were in between on that knife. It wasn't quite like baller and it wasn't quite budget. So we fell too far in the middle. So, we're learning as we go, but I think the balance idea is to have like 75 or 80% of them sell in the first couple of days and then have 25% or 20% or so that can kind of slowly trickle out the next couple weeks and then have it just sell out in like a month or so. I think that would be ideal with any knife, just so you don't have those people who are like, God damn it, I couldn't get one. Like I was getting emails before the drop even started. I was getting emails saying they're sold out and it's like 12:45. What the hell? And I'm like, we haven't even dropped them yet. So I always feel bad for those people because I've been that person who, you got to work that fucking day, or, you look away from your computer, you get distracted, and then you look back, you're like, shit, it's 1:05, and now they're all gone. Like, so we're trying to balance that. But anyway, it's possible that one of them is sold out by now. I don't know. There we go. Oh, okay. So he's saying he has 4. I was gonna say, dude, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you grabbing one. Although I'm disappointed you didn't buy 4, you fucker. I'm just kidding. I haven't gotten tracking. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, then maybe they'll be with me and they'll ship tomorrow. We'll see. I grabbed the Ultimate one for my Ultimate collection. The Ultimate collection. Get it? Got the Divo exclusive Blackwash Gray and Purple and picked up the Dark Mode. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. I still want a Venom, but shit, I bought a lot of NIPS. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. I think you emailed me, right? I believe that was you. Thank you. Got a gray one? Yeah, the gray one's sick, man. I really like the gray one. Really love this gray one. Yeah, I tried to warn people. We only had 5. We only had 5. So that was kind of a test. And with the hardware, we usually just order 10 of each because we never know what is going to happen. Like we still, I think you can check the website. I think we still have MASH kits up on the website. And I don't think we ordered more than 15 of each. So sometimes the kits don't sell at all. I think sometimes we do too good of a job with the like versions we choose. So people, people want this with purple. So why would you order another kit? And I think it's a balance there, but we want to offer something for people who want to black out the knife or, make the hardware all black, all satin. I grabbed another Lush and an RR3, so funds are low. Nice, dude. Thank you. Glad you grabbed a Lush, man. That's cool. Yeah, I think there's still a couple of the Lushes available. I think the gold was the next one that was low on inventory. And then I'm surprised the Flow Party didn't go with the 80s. I guess you guys don't like Flow Party as much as I do. Check this out. I put the Flow Party on my black one because I had to send people my glow scales for warranty stuff. There was a couple of people who had one guy had a void or something. The other guy had half his scale didn't glow or something. So I just sent my scales from the sample I had, and I was just messing around. I put these on there. Pretty sick. I think the gold ones would look good on here too. I did ask Concept what it would cost to get some scales made. I haven't heard back yet, so we'll see if that's going to happen. But yeah, I got the Lush and Nip. Nice. Awesome. He's got 10 Ultim left. Cool. Yeah, and I think Blade Bin said they had 7 left last time I talked to him. So those 2 should be gone by, tomorrow sometime. And when they get paid Friday, maybe. I could tell you, I guess, what we have left. We still have a decent number. I think we sold 150 out of 220 or so. Let me see. Nip lights. Yeah, so we still have a bunch of purples. We have 65 purples left. There's 18 gray ones and 8 G10. So a lot of purple. Yeah, I'm surprised by that. But hey, if anybody hits us up saying I need to get one, well, you're going to get purple probably. But yeah, the gray ones and the G10s look like they're gonna slowly clear out too. What's up, Dustin? Hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you. No one should be mad now. They have a chance to get a Nip and a Lush. Exactly. And that's why, the first time around, we order 300, 400 of whatever it is. So we can test the market, right? We have the Tall Boy coming up next in a couple weeks. And that one we ordered 500 right away because we think it's going to be popular. It seemed like the feedback from the prototypes were really positive. It's a bigger knife. And I think, we actually we keep some people away because of the smaller knives we do. So we think with the kind of mid-size knife, the 3.5-inch knife, that it'll bring most people who are interested in knives in. That size I think sells the best. So we did 500 on that one right away, but normally we do 300 or 400. Like the Fireball, we did 300. Those are on the way to me now, actually. And we did that because Stasa is splitting it with us. He wanted to, pay half up front for the knife because it's his design. He wanted to be involved with that, which we appreciate. Helps us too. And so we didn't want to go crazy. So he wouldn't be, on the hook for a ton of money. And, we don't know. You got to test the market on knives. That's what we try to do. So people love the Nip. So we thought we'd do a budget one. People love the Lush. So the second time around, we ordered 500 of the Lush. So there was a lot more, almost double. And then the Nips, we had 600 this time. So, yep, that is the goal. And that is what we strive for. Yep. So we'll see. And if for whatever reason we end up sitting on a bunch of these purple ones, I'll just, maybe in 5 months or whatever, we'll do a sale or something. Who knows? I'm learning, guys. And I also think we're going to try to space things out better next year. That was the plan this year. The way we ordered stuff, we tried to stagger it with a month or two in between, but then the OEMs just made everything at once. Concept, QSP, Best Tech, Kubi, they all decided to make our runs at the same time. So we got everything in the last like month. We've gotten all the knives almost. I'm just waiting for the Fireball to get here. And like Colin got the tall boys in the other day. Fireballs, we sent the money yesterday. They got it, so they shipped it to me. And then the only one left in production is the Stout V2 exclusives for traditional pocket knives. And those will probably be done with Best Tech tomorrow. That's how it goes, you know. So next year, we're going to try to do it a little better and have maybe a month and a half in between drops, because I think that probably affects it too. You know, there's probably a lot of people who are like, I just bought a Lush, so I'm not buying a NIP, or, you know, maybe some of you guys want to get a tall boy, but we're going to drop it in 2 weeks. And you're like, I just spent my money, you know, and that's totally understandable. So we're going to try to be better about that too. I never even opened my, what'd you do with it? Did you just sell it? Has anyone paid to see your nips in single? Not yet, man. Not yet. I ordered a gray one and a Zerk kit. Hopefully there's Akatai kits are okay for the gray. I think it'll look good on the gray, but I haven't tested it, so we'll see. Double D10's been a member for 7 months. He says he's pumped. This will be my first Divo and Ultim. Hell yeah, dude. I think you're going to love it, man. The Ultim is sexy as hell. I would tell you guys, he's got 10 left. If you're on the fence with this one, I would jump on it. I mean, you can use my code or anybody's code, Lefty10, save you 10%. So it'll be like $89 before any tax or shipping that could be applied. So say $100, and man, it's just so smooth. Everything's perfectly chamfered. I've said it before, I'm not an Ultim guy. I really don't like Ultim, but this one has converted me. I like this kind of Ultim, like super polished, chamfered all over, with satin on it. I always thought it would go well with black, but I think satin looks even better. So jump on those. And these are the other ones that are pretty much close to selling out. So if you're on the fence, these are the two to grab right now. Lefty10 works on these as well. Waiting on Lefty Bender. Yeah, that might be a while, man. I think we're gonna maybe try to see if we can get Riot to do prototypes on that, or maybe even Kubi. I just want to see if we can get somebody to make it a little bit cheaper. They're just so damn expensive, man. Like the Stout V2 is, I've never even heard of somebody paying more than $200 for a knife, like cost wise. And that's how much the Stout V2s are. They're like incredibly expensive. Let me show you these knives that I got in before Ben gets here, because we can keep talking nip when he gets here. 11 more days and I'll be 27. Cool, man. Good for you. I don't really like Ultim, but looking good on your nip. Thank you. I don't know what happened, but thank you. Thanks, Ian. Appreciate that, dude. Yeah, that does look good. I agree. I like it. The 80s would look sick too. I sent that one for review, so I don't have it. I have one with no scales right now. I ordered a gold Lush. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you guys very, very much. Okay, so real quick, this came in. This is the Truffles knife. So I actually have 3 YouTuber knives in right now. I know somebody was apparently hating on YouTuber knives recently. I saw a post from Ben Peterson saying he heard that, or I don't know. But I don't get that. Like, so you don't care when Joe Schmo starts a brand, like Vero starts a brand. Not that he's Joe Schmo, but he wasn't a YouTuber before. But if a guy who has experience handling 1 million knives decides to start a knife company or does a design, that bothers you? That seems really weird to me. I think what they're trying to say is they don't like people who have knives that they don't make, right? I think that's really what that person is trying to say is I only want makers to sell knives, and only makers are allowed to use their designs, have them made overseas, and then sell them. That's how I take that, because otherwise you're making a difference between me and Knoll Knives. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm sure he doesn't like Knoll just as much. I love Knoll Knives, by the way. Go check them out. But anyway, this is Misheard Knife Reviews, and this is his brand, Aurora Knife and Tool, and this is the truffles. And this is one of the first knives to come out with the pivot type locks. And this one's interesting because the lock actually goes the other way. So the button's here, and it doesn't push it across. It pushes it, I'm going to cut my finger off. It pushes it back towards the handle. So there's a little like leaf spring or a little thingy-mabobber in there, lever thingy. That's what pushes this liner the other way, and then it drops. So it has a real detent, which is nice and crisp. They really dialed it up in production. I handled the prototype. You can check out my video on it. The improvements are markedly well done. Very well done. Detent's money. The reversible clip with filler tab was added, and that is appreciated. I don't know what else I may or may not have complained about. Maybe the flipper tab. That feels great. And I really like it. I mean, it's got a hollow grind, super thin. It has the steel marking right here in between the close and open position. You can see the model number and the steel marking. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. And then when it's open, you can see the Aurora logo or name right there. I really like that. No billboarding, nice and hidden. Yeah, I really like it. Carries very well. The only thing that I don't love, there's two, and they're both personal. I don't love the blade shape. I like the Tanto. Is this an American style Tanto? Compound ground. I prefer a knife where I can get to the tip easy. Now, technically, I guess I could try to use that little tip there. Haven't tried that, but when I've opened packages or whatever, I've had to, you know, really lift up to get to the tip. So she said. And then the button, I don't know. I just don't love the pivot buttons. Are fine in some cases. This one's pretty good, actually, but it still has a little compression spring under the button that is what makes it operate like a button and not, you know, it's not super stiff. So it has a little give to it to act as a button. And I love that it has a detent. But whenever you have a compression spring involved with a knife, I don't know. I don't love that, but it's done really well. And they're coming out with a dark version. So it has a dark handle. It looks sexy as hell. I forget what they're calling it. I apologize, but I'll do a video on this and talk about it. But they have a dark one coming, and they're going to sell this version again. I think it's a pre-order. You can go to their website, and I think they have a pre-order right now. And the packaging is next level, dude. Came in this awesome box. And it's got all this shit in here, writing in here. It's got a breakdown of the knife. It has your warranty card there. And I think he sent me extras, so I don't think this comes with all the knives, but there's like stickers and shit. There's a Ninja Turtles Truffles stick or patch. There's a I have no blade safety patch. There's a challenge coin in here. And it said, what does it say? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. There is a no fate patch. And then this is what I really liked. There was a pack of Band-Aids in here. There's actually two. I kept one. And I'm going to pass this around with the other one, I guess. But these are, it says, ain't got time to bleed. And then there's 24 Band-Aids in here with all different like sayings and shit on them, which is really cool. So I think they went above and beyond with the swag, even if you have to pay for some of it, you know. And then the actual box is very good again. And I think there's a pouch. Yeah, there's a pouch as well. And there was some extra hardware. There was an extra spring and button, I think. I know there was a spring and maybe some body screws or something, but very, very good packaging. The next one is a new Knives knife. I'm going to skip ahead. Sorry, guys. If I miss anything, just repeat it and I'll try to answer it next time. Let's see those nips, Kev. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that very much. I will show you a nip. Well, I guess I got to grab two nips. Thank you, sir. Very much appreciated. And happy early birthday. Still skipping ahead. Just making sure I didn't miss any chats or anything. I think I got them all. Robert says he got the scale today, sent the old one back. Okay, that was one of the glow scales I mentioned. And now I realize that's what you were talking about earlier, customer service. Yep. Okay, I think I got all those. But yeah, so Knives has this is a new design from him. This is from Best Tech. So the OEM is Best Tech. I don't believe this is a collab or anything with them. I think he's selling it directly, but it's a Best Tech made knife. And this one is called the Offender, I believe. The first one was the Misdemeanor, and this is the Offender. And it's very well made. It feels really good. I don't know if the design is up my alley. I'm not a big fan of the Poon with the compound ground Tanto. I'm more of a sheep's foot guy. You guys know this. And the sort of turned handle, kind of pistol grip style handle, is also not an aesthetic thing for me. But if it is for you, it's extremely well made. I love the clip. I don't know if you can see this, but it's just like the axial gear clip I was talking about being excellent. It has this sort of wire clip, like almost like a bent steel clip you see on budget knives, but like elevated to a premium level. And they did the same thing here. So you get nice deep carry, but you get the look of a milled clip. I think that's super smart, really well executed as well. And then you have on here the, I guess you could basically call this the Knives flipper tab. It is unique. I mean, it looks like some other stuff we've seen. It's got some, it looks a little bit like our Buzz flipper tab. It looks a little bit like the Mohawk you see from like Berg Blades on the Sweeney. It's got a little bit of this and that, but it's also got a very unique look. And I think it's very similar to the one he did on the Misdemeanor. And it's really good, man. It just grabs so well. It looks like a Mohawk. Yeah, exactly. You can roll it. That's what I like about it. Most of those Mohawk-y type front flippers, you can't really roll it back. Or like if you look at the Lush, it's hard to kind of roll back. You got to use your thumb, or you got to get up here, or you got to reach around, right? With this one, you can do pretty much every move in the book. And then you also have the hole to flicky. and you have that. So if the aesthetic appeals to you, the knife is really well made. It's also very thinly ground. You have the Tanto hollow ground, very thin. Now, he did say something about the plunge grind, and I just want to mention it because he gets me for the plunge grind on every one of my knives. So this could use a little work. No, I don't have any clue. He said it was being updated. So, yeah. So that's the Knives one. And then the last one is the Tri-Stash. I see you down there, Ben. I'm going to grab you in a second. I just want to show this last one. This is the knife from Tri-State. So this is Tri-Stash design with blade binge. And it is stupid thin, hollow ground. Very nicely done there. It's got basically a sway back design, I guess, turned into a button lock frame lock, which is very cool. I like that he went that route. So that button pushes across, pushes that frame lock out of the way. And then you get a really good detent, but you also get a button that you can actuate it with, which I think is great if you're right-handed. If you're left-handed, this one is a little bit more difficult because the frame lock. I have to get on the clip, which is easy enough, and then I can flick it. But just a little bit harder to operate left-handed. But if you're right-handed, it's fantastic. Really well made. Going to be a great cutter. It looks good. That milling's gorgeous. The button works well. That mustache is absolutely ridiculous on a pocket knife, but pretty much on par for Tri-State, which is awesome. Yeah, and the front flipper is really good. The jimping's really good. I mean, they got a lot of stuff right on this. The one gripe I have, other than me being left-handed, which isn't an actual gripe, is the ergonomics on the handle are a little off for me. I kind of get a lot of pressure down here from this part. But if I choke up, I don't really notice it. So it's kind of a give and take, but that's kind of a sway backy type thing. So that's the Tri-Stash. Very, very nice. If you pre-ordered one, I think you're going to be really happy. Look at that shit right there. He's got some balls going with the notch. So let me bring in Ben here.
What's up, everyone? Good to see you.
It's cracking, brother. Sorry, I wanted to knock those out before I brought you on.
Knock away. Just grinding it out, dude. I'm getting excited to go to Ohio next week for the River's Edge event.
Oh, cool, dude. That sounds awesome. Yeah, I've heard some people talking about that.
I think it'll draw a good regional crowd, you know. I don't think like people are going to fly in for it kind of thing, but it should definitely draw a good regional crowd in Columbus.
I mean, you're flying in, so some people will.
Well, vendors, but I don't know if attendees would fly in. It's just a one-day thing.
Oh, okay. It's still fun if they're trying to meet somebody specific. Well, you'll probably see Cole there, right? He'll probably be there.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him if he's going or not, but I hope so.
Tell him the mustache on the knife is ridiculous.
I like it.
Isn't that just on brand?
It is. I mean, look, we're here to have fun. That kind of stuff is fun.
Yep. That's like I like naming knives after nipples. He likes putting mustaches on them. You got to have a little fun or it's not, it's not worth it.
I mean, if you're really concerned about it.
I love the armor.
Dude, isn't that cool?
That shit's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, that's how we have fun.
That's having fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I don't even know if I mentioned it. I told you in the one group we're in with Donnie that in my video, I went on like a 20-minute rant about people complaining about the price. And I don't even know if I mentioned it, but one of the things is, the artwork I'm sure isn't free. You know what I mean? Like
no.
This is like, I don't know what you would comic book quality you know,
dude,
level
professional.
of art.
These guys are published. He just did a Marvel cover.
Yeah.
Gonzo did. Like, these are the
he
real
did
guys.
a Marvel one too?
Yeah, he did I think a Ghost Rider cover recently.
Yeah.
If you check out his Instagram, like, these are the real guys. Like
and maybe that, like, devil's advocate, maybe that doesn't matter to some people. They're like, just give me the knife. Well, that's okay. And you don't have to buy one. But if you're into it, that's one of the reasons you're into it, because everyone's unique. You know what I mean? Even this, which is a knife you've released before, it's still unique because it's a new art design. You have new patterns, all type, like, so, you know, it's, I guess the way to look at that is it's a collector type thing in that sense.
And there's a lot of time and effort that goes into everything we do. It's not just ship the design on a napkin, throw it in a cheap 10-cent box and deliver it as cheap as possible. It's not what we're doing. So we're not marking them up any more than other brands. My margin is normal. My dealer's margin is normal.
People, you know, and it's stupid of me to even go on rants like that, but I just felt like doing it. I kind of egg myself into the conversation, which is a skill that I have, I guess. But thank you, Ron. Appreciate that, dude. While I have that up about the new member, I did get these Remet knives back, and this is going to be the member giveaway knife for July. I still owe you for July, and I didn't forget. It's just been crazy, but I'll get that video out next week. And these are the Falcons. I'll show you one, and whoever wins can just pick which one they want. I have the gold one, and then I have this lightning anno one, which actually doesn't look bad. I usually hate lightning anno.
That looks good.
But yeah, it looks pretty good. And this one has the button operated liner lock system and a front flipper and everything. So I have this one, and then there's one with a gold sort of collar, and then dark bronze or whatever on the handle. So you guys will be able to pick if you win. So that'll be the member giveaway for July. I'll announce it next week. Ugh. Dude, the titanium pattern is so nice.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Yep.
I dig it. We're trying to we're pushing the envelope as much as we can. You know, trying to do different things than we did before. Trying to do what other people. I don't ever come up with anything truly unique. That's not really my style. I like to get inspired, and I tell people I iterate. I don't innovate, really.
Right.
You know? And man, when I saw the knife modders put this rock pattern on some of our pieces they modded for me, I was like, what the heck? I've never seen anything like that before. I'd never seen it. I know it'd been around. So I actually called Richie. I'm like, dude, are you going to, like, is it cool if I do this? I know you don't own it, but you kind of, it's your style. I'm not trying to jock you. Yeah, I'm not trying to burn bridges. It's not worth it, right? But he was like, dude, you better do it. I'm like, all right.
Look at that, dude. You can see
it shows through the leather.
You can see the pattern. Yeah, because whenever I get one of these slips, I go ham on it, trying to, like, press it in and everything. And it even shows the pattern. It's cool.
This thing is so nice and thin.
I like it, but I was about to say the handle doesn't look like a good fit for me. Yeah, I think he's talking about the Knives knife or the Tri-Stash one.
Yeah, I can't imagine this knife handle would offend anybody. This thing is like
very very comfortable.
And then we got,
I said put a plain pivot in the box. I'm in. But that's not his style, dude. No. Cole is he's a once in a lifetime self promoter type. You don't, There's not a lot of those guys out there. He does it very well, and he doesn't really come off douchey at all. It's a really good quality to have, honestly, if you're making a living off of it. I mean, the dude sold what was it? Like 320 pre-orders on a knife named after himself. That's pretty fucking good. Like, that's very good. So I'm very happy and proud of him. It's really cool to see people putting themselves out there. I love that stuff, dude. That Protect stuff.
It's good. Yeah. It's really good.
It looks nice. It looks nice. I want to try to use it at some point. Do they have just like standard colors? Do they have anything like wild or?
I don't really have anything wild. They have, off the top of my head, you have to confirm. They've got white, blue, red. I think they got gold and or copper. Purple.
Are those coming at all, or can't say?
Are they what?
Are those
coming down the pike? I'm not going to tell you. I can tell you he gave me samples of a bunch of the different ones.
That's a yes.
Some I like better than others.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you're ready to buy that stuff, I'll give you the contact information and everything.
The blue is sexy, dude.
The blue is good, and it's nice because it's really different from the other blues we see. That Andy
blue is tough for me, dude, because I don't really like it on fat carbon Arctic.
Yeah,
it's almost a little like, I don't know how to explain
it. There's two shades in there. There's a baby blue, and there's like a darker one.
I like the camo Brittany blue, but that's basically green / teal. This blue is good. We got we had Andy inject it with more blue this time around.
Yeah.
This is electric blue, he calls it. The first batch we got that we did prototypes with was very like dull. It wasn't dull. It was just limited on blue. It was like a dark matter run, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that piece didn't have a ton of color, the one you just showed me.
I mean, it's a lot better than, but when you see the, we got this mostly for the Fireball, which the whole handle is carbon. Yeah. So when you see those, it'll be easier to see. But
this is the Blade HQ exclusive, all polished titanium.
Yeah. That's the Rich Light one. So anybody who has been wanting a micarta or something.
Yeah, it's paper micarta, basically.
Yeah, basically.
I think it just simply is paper micarta. Like, it's not even like paper micarta. It's a paper phenolic. So they use recycled paper, but it's still paper. My lighting is really kind of yellow in here, so it's not doing the best at showing this. But, yeah, it's a nice shade of kind of navy blue. Someone said this looked like a Navy officer's knife with like the blue and gold. And I was like, yeah, it kind of does look like that.
Yeah. And it kind of looks like custom because of the polished bolsters.
Yeah. I mean, I got to give the credit to those guys over at Blade HQ. This was their idea.
Yeah.
And this is not something I would have picked. You know,
no, it's not something I would pick either personally, but I think I see the appeal to people who like those materials.
Yeah, and they wanted to have something that looked more traditional. So I was like, okay, that's what's kind of fun about the dealer exclusive program is it takes some of the heat off me. I'm picking the configuration. And also I get to learn what may or may not work that someone else comes up with. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Nice, Grady. Good to see you, dude. And thanks for picking up NIP today.
I owe Grady a live stream. He was going to get one going, and I haven't got back to him. I've just been busy.
Oh, I haven't heard about a Grady live stream. There you go. Yeah, dude, the Mars Valley is sick.
What's up, Michael? Thank you. Yeah, it's, you know, one thing I think we did right on that knife was the pairing the Mars Valley with the black hardware. Like, that seems to, people really seem to dig that. And then can't forget old dark matter red.
Yeah, that looks good too. I actually thought that might have been the Protect composite stuff again.
No, now this piece, of course, is got more color than I would say average.
Yeah.
Of the batch.
And that's the blast and tumble finish?
Yeah, I don't exactly. It's you know, I don't know exactly if the blade is blast and tumble, if they're doing some kind of acid etch. Like, I don't know. I just sent him a picture of, in fact, it was Tom Medvedic's Kingpin that had that finish. And I was like, that's the finish I want.
Yeah, it looks kind of like an acid etch.
It could be. I've been calling it blast and tumble, but I need to ask. I should really know. And it's kind of a red and gray theme. The same finish on the hardware. Tried to have a nice little array, you know?
Yeah. Wait, you're saying that Venom has... I don't think it has black hardware, does it?
No, the Benny.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The Benny.
Yes. And you did it on something else, too, after the Venom.
I think Mars Valley?
It might have been a different...
Dude, we haven't used Mars Valley in so...
I think it was an orange-ish color, and it had black hardware. Maybe it was a red, but I don't know.
I don't think we used Mars Valley since... I know I used it on that. We did it on the Venom, right? And we did Dark Matter Gold.
It might have been Lava Flow.
It's so hard to remember at this point.
Yeah, I can't remember every version of every one.
Me neither.
Although,
which is not good.
I have in the past.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you, man. Let me just see if I missed any questions. That's the beauty of knife collecting, a multitude of styles to choose from. I like the Jack Wolf low profile. Show the after hours, Jack.
Sorry, buddy. I don't have the collection here. They're all in my office, but I think Kev has one.
I'm trying to think of which knife I'm thinking of. Maybe I was thinking of the Berg Blades. I had a Mars Valley Mini Sweeney that had black hardware. Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
There's the after hours.
This is the after hours. For me, this is the best of the locking knives, just because I'm just the sheep's foot guy.
Yeah.
Warny type guy.
It's hard to not like a straight edge, man. It's for the kind of stuff that EDC guys do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's good stuff.
Yes, sure.
I was just trying to catch up on the comments, guys. It's good to see all of you. How's everyone doing? How's everybody's summer? It's still pretty hot here. It's kind of been not as bad as last year, which is nice.
Yeah, it's cooled down a bit. It hasn't been in the 90s every week like it was in July. So it's been really nice. Does the DLC Venom show the grind lines underneath the coating?
No, because it's a black wash. So it looks like, I wish I had better lighting in here, but you can kind of see that.
So in this case, my guess is they stonewashed the blade and then they DLC'd it.
And then they put it in the stonewash again.
Do they? Okay.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Like you could see.
Because that's how, with DLC, they do the finish before.
Correct.
When you get the belt satin ones, they do belt satin and then they coat it over top. DLC is a very thin layer of.
This is either stonewashed first or blasted first. I'm not exactly sure. Probably stonewashed first, but then this takes a trip back through the stonewash afterwards.
That makes sense.
To give it the nuked look.
Did I show in my video yesterday? Did I show the DLC where I was hitting it with a bit driver to show how?
Oh, really?
How strong it is?
I didn't watch your whole video yet. It's kind of long.
I don't know if I did that in that video or one. I don't know if I posted it, but I can show you. So I don't have a DLC Venom, but I have the Midnight here.
Yeah.
So just because lately there's been a big thing where OEMs were telling people they're doing DLC when they're not. Like Best Tech was telling us that, and they weren't.
And it was PVD.
Yeah, so people might have, like, we had them do belt satin DLC, and they did it with PVD somehow, and like they actually, I guess, pulled it off, but I don't know how they did it. Just be a super thin layer of PVD or something, or they did like a belt satin over top. I don't know, but we thought it was DLC because that's what they say on all the documentation. That's what we asked for. And then now they're like, oh yeah, everybody does PVD here. We just thought it was interchangeable. We didn't know. It's like,
how did you call them out on it in the first place? How did you know the difference?
there's a channel. God damn it, what's his Knife Addict Dylan, and I guess he got smart to it somehow, and he started like checking knives, and he figured out Best Techs weren't actually DLC. And he actually like commented on my post on a prototype we had from Best Tech. And I was like, well, I'm told it's DLC, whatever. And I said, I'll check into it. Like, what, how do you know or whatever? And he said what he told me. And then I asked Best Tech, and I've asked them before, and they've always said DLC. But this time they were like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then they made the kind of like, it's not really our fault excuses, even though their book literally says DLC. And then they're like, well, we can quote you for DLC now because we can actually do it, but it's going to be X more. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, so anyway, that's been a thing. So I figured when I was doing the video, I think I did do it in the Venom video, that I would just kind of prove it. So with a DLC blade, it's like 80 HRC or something crazy like that. So I can take a bit driver and just go at it.
It's cringe.
And I wanted to know, like, I wanted to be sure that you were actually doing DLC before I went ham on it. So yeah. I did it on like a little spot, but you can just scratch the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And you might see like a little bit of just like lines, but as soon as you take a cloth or a little bit of alcohol, it's completely just wiped off.
Yeah, it's DLC. The first time I started doing black coatings, they sent me PVD, and it's blacker. Like looks more paint like, actually.
Yeah, it definitely looks more paint like.
Yeah, and I kind of like that in the beginning, because it was like, I'm going for black. That looks really black. But they were like, look, we suggest you pay more and do DLC. It's a better quality. And I'm like, kind of looked into it a little bit. I know in the firearms kind of niche, like DLC is the high-end finish. So I was like, all right, I like to take their word for it, you know, on that kind of thing.
Do you pay more for it?
I do. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I should charge more for the DLC probably, but I just don't.
Is it more than like belt satin costs you, or is it interchangeable?
Oh, yeah. No, it costs more. Yeah. It's an upgrade. I mean, I pay for it, and I just don't nickel and dime on the sales price, because like some of the, like whatever, it all comes out in the wash.
It's just so much work on the back end if you change all the
it's
prices.
Like they're all just 300. Is the only way I would ever go up from my normal pricing is if I use some kind of handle material that was like stupid expensive.
Yeah, like circuit tie or something.
Right. Yeah. Right. But like I just absorb the extra cost for the DLC and I don't pass it on. But it does cost more. And if I do the blade and all the hardware and the frame, like that's more than if I just did the blade or I just did the screws.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much what we've heard from Best Tech. ProTech.
It's better though.
Stuff. Better. Yeah. So there's a company called ProTech Composites. It's not ProTech, the knife company.
Yeah, guys. That's why I do not. You know how I usually put the name of the manufacturer of the handle material, like Chaotic Resin or Kieranite or Fat Carbon. But these guys are called ProTech Composites, and it's just going to confuse the shit out of everyone if I put the name ProTech in my knife name. So they really need to come up with a new brand name. It's super nice. It's super nice.
It would look good with the DLC Blackwash.
Yeah.
This finish is dope, dude. If you can get them to do this.
Is that mirror?
Yeah, Kaiser mirror DLC.
Oh, is that DLC?
Yep. trust me, I did the bit driver on this one.
I believe it just looks really pale. I wonder if they DLC'd it.
It's just the lighting, probably. I mean, it's a mirror, so it looks a little less black than because the lighting is really hit. You know,
and you know
can't
what?
Not catch the light on it.
The word mirror, like, there's different degrees of mirror.
Well, this is pretty mirror. I mean,
I'm just saying, really expensive custom knives that are like a straight up mirror. There's so much different grip progression they got to go through to get there.
You can see
It does, but it's not like crystal clear, you know?
Yeah, you'd have to see it in person. I mean, but I doubt it's like custom level.
Right, but
that would be sick on a production knife.
It looks
I should ask Kaiser if.
Oh, Donnie's here.
That made me wonder if maybe Kaiser's your OEM. But unless you can get them to do belt satin that nobody else can, it's usually where I check companies off. I'm like, nah, they don't do belt satin, so can't be them. They don't do this, so can't be them. Got my Flow Carbon Fiber Lush Monday. Yeah, dude, thank you. Here, check. I showed this earlier, but I put the flow scales on a black one, and it looks pretty sick.
I think the only difference between Flow Party and 80s is 80s has blue in it.
Well, so 80s has blue and green that this doesn't have.
Yeah.
And I think it might have or it used to at least have some like red in it, like maroon at one point. But I think he took that out at some point. I could just
it used to be called something other than 80s.
And then they add yellow that isn't in 80s.
That's very similar.
So the green and blue, and then so remove green and blue and add yellow, basically.
Yeah. I could see why people would prefer 80s over it.
I actually like Flow Party better personally, but
I would be indifferent. Honestly, I'd be happy with either personally.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the knife. Maybe.
Yeah.
I just have had so much 80s that when I got your little bro, I was just stoked to try this. And this cut of 80s is ridiculous. Look at that.
Damn, bro.
Like that cut just crushes this. Even though this is nice, that's just bonkers. The pink is really nice. I think this would be sick with a little pink in it. Oh, wait. Whoops. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it has pink.
Yeah. The blue and the pink go together real well.
Probably why I like it so much. Here's a gold one.
It's good to see everybody. Hey, what's up, Miranda? I haven't talked to you in a while. Yeah, dude, Dark Matter Gold. You picked a lot of the stuff I like in this run for sure. And you guys had Glow also, right?
Yeah, we did Glow, Flow, 80s, Purple Haze, and Gold. And we only meant to do 4. And when I somehow I forget, but I was asking about Purple Haze, and then I said, well, let's do Glow, Dark Matter Gold. And then somehow that turned into doing both. So we weren't gonna do purple and gold, but we weren't gonna do like gold and flow. I forget how it happened, but I ended up adding 100 pieces to the order on accident.
Oops.
I'm kind of glad we did because that's probably around what we had left after the first day. So then there's some for the people who didn't get one right away. I'll have to go green. Oh, yeah, dude. So the green one, you already showed it.
I'll pull it up. The green one's really freaking cool.
Yeah, that'd be a good Eagles one. There's a little bit of neon green in that. I mean, look at his little logo. There's some neon there. I guess you could kind of call that Kelly green.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what. Andy has stepped up the game. It's obvious to me now, you know? And this full batch of green was dope.
Yeah, I texted him when I got these in. I was like, dude, keep it up because you're killing it.
This one's got the Venom vibe. Like, it screams snake. Yeah. And it kind of goes with the tube art. So, there it is. Black wash with green.
Blue. Do I have? Yeah, I have it right here. Yeah, I don't know. He's right. There's like different shades of it.
There's two different shades of blue.
There's like that dark off color. It's like almost tealish blue under there.
There's like a baby blue and like a blue green, like a
yeah. I don't know. It's cool. I still like it, but have you seen the purple? I forget what he's calling it now.
Fat carbon or
no, camo carbon. I had him remove the stainless layer, so it doesn't have that whitish gray shit in there anymore. It's just
how did
the
batch look?
What?
How did the batch look when you inspected the batch? Okay, good.
Yeah, we did the tall boy in it, so we have like 100 of them, and the full handles in purple, and they look good. So, he has the one with the gray in it is Purple Rain. Austin was calling it Purple Cow.
Right.
I just don't like that extra white in there. So I had him do this, and he called it Purple Rush, I think. Purple Rush. But
Miranda asked if it's the first time we did the black stonewash. We did the black stonewash on the DLT exclusive of the Benny that featured Ultima scales and blasted and tumbled hardware and blade, but it had a black washed frame. It's the first time we've done it.
This is our gun stock handled knife.
Oh,
we were calling it it was just called the gun stock in our notes for the longest time, but now it's the saloon.
It is a gun stock.
Yeah, very very subtle.
Yeah, but it's there.
It's there.
Got a lock bar relief. Is it a liner lock or a frame lock? I didn't notice.
Liner
lock. Is the liner steel? Is that how they make those?
Yeah, well, that's what we asked for. Well, I don't know if Kubi would do titanium, but did
the scales are the scales titanium or aluminum on that?
What?
What's the frame? Is it titanium or aluminum?
Yeah, it's titanium.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's really nice. They did a great. Kubi killed it on this. But yeah, we always do steel liners now because for the most part, our liners are literally just nested lock bars. It's not like a whole liner. It's just
you don't need a whole liner. You just need the lock.
Yeah, and with titanium, you got to make it thicker to fit an insert, and it just ends up making your knife thicker. It's just like not worth it. Steel makes more sense. Like why make it thicker to fit an insert when you could just make that little piece out of steel and keep it thin, you know?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, in other words, when you talk about the insert, you're talking about the lock bar insert.
Yeah.
So you would need enough room to install the insert.
Yeah, like the Buzz, when we were working on it, it went from like 0.47 to a little over half an inch just because we wanted it in titanium instead. It just doesn't make sense. The reason to do it is because people think it's more premium, but it really doesn't make that much sense.
Well, if you have titanium frame, then I don't think it really matters what material the lock insert is.
Yeah. Here, check this out. Two things. We have one in Zircutai we had them do.
That's gnarly, dude.
Yeah. Kubi's fucked. I mean, dude, they've come a long way since we started working with them. The first prototype we did with them it's insane. I wish I had it. We sold it to actually Charles from CWF. But if you looked at that and compared it to what we're getting from them now, it's insane. But anyway, we had them try to sort of match the CRK / Jack Wolf finish on the titanium on this one.
The Dark Blast. It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a Dark Blast.
I don't know exactly what they did. I told them, I think I said Dark Blast. I said aluminum oxide. So I gave them some, something to go on. And I think it came out great.
It looks good. That's what you're after. And I like the black accents. And I like how you kept the silver blade. That looks good.
Yeah.
Which knife is that?
I think we're going to do, this is the mini growler.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I think that growler might be my favorite design of you guys.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Have you guys ever done a Lefty growler?
No, because we haven't done it with anybody who will do like a lower run on lefties. Like we haven't used Best Tech, although technically we had them prototype it because M3 used them when we
that
did
was the M3 knife.
But
so
yeah, we're gonna
growler...
do this one with belt satin, and then I think we're also gonna do some with a black wash as well. I think it'll look good in both.
What kind of lock does that have? Show me the lock side. Is it a frame lock?
Same thing, liner lock, but it's just a tab in here.
Okay.
So basically, that lock bar just comes down, and then I think the clip holds it in.
Oh,
and then
there's
a little like tab on the titanium that also goes. The liner sits on top of to lock it in place.
Okay, keep it from rotating.
Yeah, but like this whole side, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
there's no liner there. Some of the knives we have to do full liner. Like the NIP has a full liner inside. I think on both sides, just because of how thin it all is. It weighs like 2 ounces.
Yeah.
So if you didn't have those, it would just be. I don't think it would be sturdy enough. It also started as a carbon only knife, and then we wanted to do titanium, and they were like, you have to do separate runs if you don't do liners. So we ended up doing the tie with liners, which they were a little heavier than I probably would have liked, but some people like that because the carbon ones were 1.8 ounces.
Damn.
And the tie ones are 2.8. They're not heavy in general, but for a small knife, it kind of is. These fall in the middle. They're like 2.2 or something like that.
If you guys do those tie ones again, you could pocket the underside of the scales.
Yeah, well, I think it is. It is pocketed, yeah. Like the liner's pocketed.
No, I mean the titanium. You could pocket the titanium on the underside just to take some weight out of it if you wanted to.
I don't know if that would. I guess it would work.
It would. Why not?
The liner's milled out, but you could also mill the titanium. I guess you could.
Just trace the pocket that's in the liner in the bottom side of the titanium. If we did it again, I would
probably do it as a tie-only run and just get rid of the liners altogether and just do an inset lock bar like the other ones I showed you.
Sure. But then you've got a tie-only run. Not that that's bad, but that's the trade-off. No.
Let's see. Blade HQ ones are going to go quick.
I think so, but just based on
have you said the quantities on those or no?
I don't, because the dealers buy them, so I don't like to say their business. If the dealers want to say how many of those they got,
do they choose?
I give them a minimum, and they can buy as many as they want from there.
Okay. What tick is my favorite? This one. He let me choose when he sent it to me. This is the marbled or shred carbon fiber inlay, and then belt satin.
Who makes that shred? Do you know?
I
Probably
think
just
it's
supplied by
Chinese thing.
Yeah,
it's just something that Riot gets. I've seen it on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
it's nice though. Probably makes it more affordable. I think Best Tech has it too. If you're just gonna do one carbon version, I think it kind of does make sense versus shipping them something, and it might as well be like marbled for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, marbled or forged or something, just not the plain old weave.
Yeah, you don't want like red. I do like weave actually.
What do you?
We do it on the Kubi stuff a lot. I like how they do it. If it's contoured, it looks really good.
Yeah, that looks all right. I mean, that's not much different from the twill that I used on the K9 and stuff. But I'm talking about the like weave that's been around since the 90s.
That stuff is like that's what do they call that?
Veneer.
It's weave. Fuck. But I think there's actually G10 in there. It's like laminate with G10.
Dude, the walk and talk on these is good.
Here, I'll show you what I mean. This shit. This shit.
Yes, stuff like that.
Yeah. I think
like
there's
a basket
some G10 in there too, I think.
Donnie called it peel ply.
Yeah, no, maybe. Peel ply is the G10 from Spyderco.
Yeah, Nick said like auto parts that are carbon fiber. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Nick.
Yep. That's different. Like, this is
I would not use that
I think 3K or something like that, like 3D weave. Yeah, this is like a real carbon. I really like it, honestly.
ProTech Composites has all kinds of like regular carbon fibers too.
What's up, Rob? Oh, you're heading to bed? All right. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
Good to see you, Rob.
Thanks for sending the screws out. Oh, cool.
Oh, you're welcome, dude. Yeah, if anybody ever has a customer service issue, just hit me up. I respond to all the messages personally, and I'll do whatever I can for you guys. Had an interesting. I had to make my girlfriend. That sounds good, but I ain't buying it. I had a guy hit me up from the Netherlands, and the message goes, "Hey, Ben, I didn't watch your video or read the note on the tube, and I took the knife apart, and now I can't put it back together. Can you help me?" I'm like, oh, man. Like,
oh, shit.
How am I supposed to help you, dude? You know, like, we can't ship this knife back and forth or anything. It costs way too much. So I wrote him back. I'm like, I got this long video. Have you watched it yet? If you're not comfortable doing it, try to find someone to help you, you know? And he wrote me back like the next day. I did it. I put it back together. I followed your video. He sent me all kinds of pictures.
Did he have a vise?
Yeah, he had a vise.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, dude.
Yeah. But he did it. I was proud of him.
Yeah, we have a couple of people from the Netherlands that buy our stuff. I wonder if it's one of the same people.
They've got a good, well, I have a dealer there, you know, so I sell a lot of knives.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Is that the gentleman's one?
No, that's Knives and Tools, who, if you ever want to get over in Europe, they're a good one because they're big and they have foreign language websites and native speakers in their customer service center, like 7 or 8 different languages.
Well, in the Netherlands, everybody speaks English. My brother lives
but I'm
there.
saying they have a French website and a Spanish website and an Italian website, and then they have those language speakers answering customer service calls for those markets.
Michael, I saw your comment earlier. He said he missed the vampire lava flow, and he was asking if he could get lava flow scales. That's not, you're not able to get scales because they're hand fit to the knife.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was bugging them about that again just to see if there was some way.
It's very uncommon to see a company that sells separate scales. It's not very common, I should say. It's more common to see another maker that makes scales to make them for a knife. It's less common to see a company just sell the scales. We tried it with the Stout, and it went okay, but we made like no money on them. And it was a pain in the ass. Selling them all, we'd have drops, and they'd be limited, and then they'd oversell, and then it'd be a pain in the ass. And it just really wasn't worth it. And having them made by the OEM is a little weird because it's like hard. Like, what do you charge for them? I don't know. It's a little bit. And you're trying to sell knives. You know, I hate to say it that way, but like we're trying to sell knives, not scales. And if we sold scales, we would lose sales, essentially. So I don't know.
Ultimately,
it'd be cool to sell them like a little bit later, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I wish I could at least offer them for warranty in case someone breaks the scale.
Oh, yeah. We usually try to get some extra ones if we can. Doesn't always work out just because I don't think of it every time.
Right.
But
you know, there's been some guys that do mods, makes scales from time to time, but no one has made it a regular course of their mod business because it's too much work.
Yeah.
It is a pain in the ass to fit scales on these things because not only do they have to fit perfectly, but then the holes have to be perfectly lined up with the holes in the tie, and then the countersinks have to be perfect for the head of the screw. It's like,
but aren't those, if they had a CNC machine? Oh, okay. You're not giving them a CAD file.
No, I'm just talking about guys that do mods.
Well, I know guys. Oh, okay, mods. Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I know guys who do scales, and I've sent them the CAD file so they could just print the scale or cut the scales.
Even if they did that, they would
just have to hand fit them. It'd still be easier though.
And then it would be. And then the downside is if you even remotely damage the finish on the metal, it's got to all be disassembled and refinished. Like, you scrape the blast off, it's got to be reblasted.
Thanks, B Shady. Appreciate you, man.
Hold on, the inside scales reduce weight like the original. I think there's some sidebar conversations, which is always cool.
It was Best Tech, Palmer. But apparently Riot did it too. I have the GOM and everything, the way that Chris marketed it and everything was as DLC. And I did test it. It's not. It's PVD. But Riot, it was on his invoice and all that shit, just like us. So he thought he got DLC. Well, Riot doesn't do DLC either. Maybe they do now, like Best Tech, but not before. I think they do if you pay more.
Yeah, Josh, I remember that Cyborg, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's pretty rare that scales break, but they can break. Anything can break if you try hard enough. I just got a knife in the mail from a dude who broke the tip off his first release gunslinger. Sent me this picture. Tip just.
I could see that.
I'm like, call me, you know, because he's like, oh, can I get a new blade? Of course, I can't offer those either because they're grinding locks to fit. I found out. So
yeah. Whenever I swap an insert on a knife, like the Stout B2, I've had some detent balls pop out on the lefties for whatever reason. And I have a bag of inserts they sent me. I have to usually try 2 or 3, and then I have to break it in. Like I have to open and close it 20 times to get the stick out of it because it has to match the geometry.
Yeah. So this guy broke the tip and I'm like, call me, you know, because I wanted to hear how he did it. And I like to hear if people are going to tell me the truth, you know? Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I knew better. He's like, I pried an engine cover off my BMW. He's like, I told myself not to do it and I did it anyway. I was like, oh God.
Like his hood wouldn't open and
No, you know, like if you open your hood, there's that plastic thing that says BMW and underneath it, you would see the header.
No, I don't have a BMW, but
anyway, all these cars have them now, a big plastic cover over the engine. So he was trying to pry it off and he broke the tip off. But I told him, look, if you want to save that knife, just send it to me and I'll take it to Corey and we'll reprofile it, you know, put a new tip
on. I was
going to
say, I should hook you up with, there's a dude, his name's Sean. What's his last name? But anyway, he's done work for like CKF and other brands. He does their warranty work. And I've had him fix a Chris Reeve, or not a Chris Reeve, what's that brand in South Africa? The very Shamwari. What's that brand?
Trevor Berger?
No, but it's like Trevor Berger. It's
I don't know. I can't remember all these
their names. How do I not remember the Shamwari brand? Gareth Bull.
Yeah.
I sent him one. He like refinished the scales to match. Like he's done new tips on stuff. I've had like scales strip out and I've sent him the knives and he'll rethread them or whatever.
That's
so
cool.
If you ever need a guy to do work like that, he'd be a perfect dude to do like legit warranty work, you know.
He's a knife mechanic.
Yeah, stuff we can't do. And if you don't have blades, you know, you can get him to at least redo it. But I guess Corey could do it on a stone.
Well, he does it on his grinder and then he finishes it on the stones. He does them.
Yeah.
He's a knife maker.
That's not going to look the same.
No.
I mean, how much of that tip is gone? He probably broke off like a 1/4 inch of that sucker.
Just about.
Yeah, because that knife is so thin, dude.
I offered him to sell him anything I had in stock or anything in the future for a wholesale price. You know, I was like, look, I'll throw you a bone. I'll sell you something for wholesale price or I'll reprofile. I won't even charge you for the repair. Like I'm going to pay for the repair, but I'll do it for him for free. I'm like, you just ship it to me. I'll cover the repair. I'll ship it back or I'll give you a discount on another knife. He's like, let me ask my wife. And then he comes back. He's like, I need you to reprofile it. I'm like, all right. I got you, bro.
I'm going to swoop that Saloon Divo knife you got there when you guys drive. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Yeah, we'll probably order that one. I think that's probably the 3rd one that'll be going in. We have to put the chaser in. That's this one. We have to put this one in, and then the mini growler, and then the saloon. So it should be probably early next year would be my guess.
Show me that blade shape, Kev. That's it's like a spear point, but it's kind of clip point spear.
It's kind of nest mucky.
Yeah.
It's basically a drop point, I guess.
I suppose it looks like something. It's kind of KC Spyron style.
So both of these actually, originally, we started with what I call a sheep spear or a spear foot. Sorry, it's like Colin's kind of. If he had a trademark blade shape, that's what it would be. We actually have never done it, and I'm starting to realize why. Because every time we start with it, we end up changing it just to fit the design or fit the handle better or whatever. We tweak it, and this one changed into this, which is basically a spear point now.
Yeah.
And this one changed into kind of a Nesmuck drop point. But I think it's good because we've done basically everything we've done has been a Warncliffe or a sheep's foot. So these are a little bit more standard blade shapes. I think that'll be good.
Yeah.
To have it changed up a little bit. But yeah, thank you, Miranda. Appreciate that.
So anybody in the chat, is anybody going to the River's Edge cutlery thing next Saturday? I'll be there. I know Berg Blades will be there.
Hey, Mikey.
What's up, Mike?
Oh, that's cool. Berg's going.
Vero will be there. He goes. And I don't remember who else exactly, but
yeah, I should talk to them. I don't know. I've been pretty happy with the few dealers we've been working with. Keeps it easy.
Yeah, there's something to say about just trying to move more units through a smaller group. You know, it does make life easier.
Yeah.
Amos Damon, the JWK Benny is a new favorite of mine. Will Ben ever do another run of After Hours? Just pinch a nip from BB. We will do another After Hours for sure. Like, that knife sold well, and we did it December, so it's due. So I'll do it again.
I would love to see a feel good locking knife.
I will tell you right now that I want to do a whole line of locking knives. They're not all going to convert well, I don't think, but I'm trying.
Have you tried? I'm guessing the Cyborg is probably already.
I will not tell you what I've tried, and I will not tell you what's coming, but I will tell you I'm trying.
The Cyborg is
most,
coming
if
soon.
not all.
I could almost guess that would be the next one that's locking. But yeah, the feel good would be dope, and although it could be like little bro, big bro, but you've done the Midnight as a locking knife After Hours, and then you've done 2 clip points. So I would venture to guess it should be like a Vampire or something with a spear point would be the logical next thing. But
yes, I will tell you right now, well, not only that, but like not everything comes out of research and development in the logical order.
Yeah. No,
I know some of these things go through version. It's so frustrating when you're on version 3 of a prototype. It's like,
dude, we've done mostly because the OEMs just keep falling apart, but we've done the US Growler project 3 fucking times now.
Dude, the US Growler.
Apparently we got it. You know, it's happening. Apparently.
With who? Do you say?
Chapman Lake.
I don't even know who that is.
They make medical devices like implants or some shit in the medical field, and they started a knife company, and they came out with this button lock. It's all made here, obviously. They're in Indiana, but they made this button lock. They actually have lefties of it. The design isn't for me, but anyway, we just got to talking to them, and they said they could do it. So apparently they're going to start on the prototype in a little bit. They're just catching up with stuff. This is what always happens, though. They have all their own problems and shit to make their own knives, and it tends to just get beat down the line, and then it like just fades off. And at some point we get to a point where we're like, we want to do this or not, like, and then we just move on. So we'll see. Obviously, this one I'm very this one's very promising. So we'll see.
Did you listen to the live stream that Jake and Ryan did where they were talking about their stuff?
I saw a post. I didn't see a live stream, but I saw that they were talking about their projects and how they're all delayed and shit too.
Yeah,
It's
live stream.
It's never ending, like yesterday, you had sent me that Instagram post from Shane who hates on Chinese-made knives. And, what I always tell him is like, dude, your point is logical. Like, I get it. You want USA-made products. So does everybody, honestly. There's not anybody making stuff overseas that's like, oh, I wouldn't make it in the US if I could. Like, it's not accessible, affordable, or really very, I need another A for this alliteration, but
available.
Yeah. Did I think I say that? Oh, I said affordable, accessible, or available. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess.
And it's like, so in the meantime, we're having shit made over there so that when this does work out with Chapman Lake and they ask me for, 50 grand, I'll have it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't, what has happened to Ryan and Jake is they've actually done a few projects overseas. Otherwise they would be flat broke because they put so much money into trying to get this shit made here and it hasn't worked out. They've run into all the same problems that we have, maybe even worse, honestly. I guess they haven't had a scandal, but it's killer. And it's like, dude, I have a passion for this. I want to see our designs come to life, and I love the interactions. And yes, it's a nice, like, we make some money. It's nice, but like, unfortunately, there's not a very good road to having them made here that makes sense for everybody.
There's no road.
Like, ask the people in this chat, how many of you guys are going to spend $700-800 on a knife? It's like, not many. A lot of people just want to spend $100 or $200 or $300 is their limit or whatever. And it's like, somebody has to serve that population. And if I'm being honest, I don't want to spend $800 on a knife. So I don't really want to sell one for $800.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just, but like, I get it. It's just, you got to kind of see reason as well, I think. I don't know.
Justin asked about a finger choil. Honestly, I'm not saying never, but it's not really a traditional knife thing. I can't think of it.
I've seen the huge ones, but they're ugly as hell. That's the problem.
Well, I'm saying the only traditional knife I can think of that has anything
Campbell, that's his
resembling
name.
A finger choil would be like a cotton sampler, and that's such a kind of niche.
But that's what I'm saying. It has that huge choil and it kind of looks ugly as hell, right?
Yeah. So, and personally, for me on knives, I'm not like a choke up on the choil user. So I don't.
I'm all choil.
And I don't dislike them. It's just not my preference, and the way the aesthetic I like, which is the classic aesthetic, you just don't see it.
But that's the thing is, to me, this is just as good because it's a flat. I can choke up all the way to the edge.
Yeah.
So this knife doesn't need a choil because it essentially has one built in. It's just not like a lock your finger in type thing.
Yeah, it's just not a half moon shape. It's not
but there's not anything keeping you, like, there's a lot of knives where, see if I can find an example. There's a lot of knives where the handle forces you to be an inch away from the edge termination.
Yep.
And to me, those are the knives I don't prefer because with this, I can get right up behind the edge. When I go to cut cardboard, whatever, I never catch the choil. When I use this knife or something like this, if I go to cut, I will catch the material here or here, and then I'll bind it up. It'll fuck my cut up completely. I want to be able to just mindlessly fucking slice through shit.
man, what is going on there? It's like
I
a
found out this
fantasy
is
knife.
actually a mid-tech. They're saying it's OEM by Riot, and then a lot of it's like hand done, the grinding, the finishing on the materials. It's called the Gen X Blades Primark.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's impressive, the construction and everything. Like, there's a lot going on there. Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Just milling
there
it
at the
to
top.
the gills, dude. Check this out.
Oh, that's gangster.
Fucking cool, right?
It is cool. I mean, that's a knife you buy to appreciate. I mean, it's really quite the opposite of my stuff.
And look at the Zircutai and Zerk.
Dude, the more you look, the more there is. Like, what's going on with those frame screws?
And it's Vanex, dude. It came with a tool for the pivot and everything.
Who's the
it's like
designer?
500 and something bucks, which is good.
Yeah, there's a lot of work. Who's the brand, or what is that?
So it's called Gen X, GENEX, not like the generation. Gen X Blades, and the international dealer for them is actually Get Good Screw, the bit driver guys.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Where's the brand from?
China, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure it's a Chinese maker guy, designer. I'm not sure.
That's hardcore. That looks like a 90s fantasy knife, like a Gil Hibben.
And this is number 6. There's 8 versions on their website. Check it out. If anybody's interested, you can use Lefty 10. I think it gets 10% off of $550. This one's pretty cool too. This one's from Reich.
They've got some crazy shit going on.
The blade is not, dude. They do shit just to do it.
Dig it.
Back strap comes off, so you pop this thing up. Make sure I got that right, not the other way. Okay, so I think that's off now, and then you just pull it off. See if I can. Let me just make sure I got it right. Yeah. So you gotta wiggle it to come up.
Wiggle it just a little bit. Okay, so what is going on?
But I asked him, I'm like, so are you selling replacement ones? Why does this come off? And they were like, yeah, at some point in the future, we're gonna have Ultim ones that people can buy. And I'm like, okay, so you're just doing that because people are asking, what the fuck is this for? That's cool. I like that they just want to do shit, but it's also kind of wild. Hey, we should make this backstrap just come off.
It's like science fiction.
It would be cool if they sold left-handed ones.
Does that backstrap makes it so there's no visible hardware?
Yeah, basically, it's functional without it, but it's an integral backstrap.
Yeah, that's beyond.
It makes the knife look like an integral, basically.
Yeah, it covers all the hardware. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's got a sick, tall, really nice blade.
What's going on with that thumb stud going on?
I hate it, dude. That's the one thing that bugs the shit out of me. Apparently now I can fire it every time, but when I first got it, I would just miss the thumb flick every time.
Does it pivot or anything, or no?
No, it does look like it lifts up. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Weird.
Ugh.
And it's got it's got built-in
or an inset lock.
Built-in jimping, the thumb stud, basically.
Yeah. Oh, that's something cool about Matt's new knife that's dropping tomorrow too. He built in the jimping to match on the scales. That looks pretty cool.
Interesting. I could probably do something like that.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Oh, and this knife is also in Vanex, which is pretty wild.
Someone asked me about would I do other stainless steels. I don't think too much about it, but I suppose I would. I really like S90V. I think it suits my stuff really well.
Vanex would be cool.
It's I don't know if my OEM has access to the same stuff Riot has access to, because they do so many knives at Riot, and they're getting Magna Cut at Riot. They're getting other. A lot
of them can get Best Tech can get Vanex. They did the Stout you have from us. That's Vanex.
Think that would be a good one for my stuff?
It's one of the reasons it's a fucking stupid expensive knife. I was saying earlier, I'm thinking about trying to get Riyadh or somebody else to make one of our knives that we've prototyped because Best Tech is just so expensive.
Yeah, Best Tech, because everybody, probably doesn't know. We've talked about it before, but Best Tech doesn't make anything.
Right.
So they're going to the best factories in town, and then they're taxing it because they got to get their margin, which is fine.
Like the stout it costs over $200 to make that.
Yeah,
knife.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of fucking money.
Once
you factor in dealers and packaging and shipping and all the other shit, it's insane.
Yeah, I don't want to drive up the price of my knives any because I don't want to have to charge more.
Right.
If
Van X would definitely cost you more.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that.
So I don't know if maybe you could do like sort of like your dealer exclusive. You could maybe do like one version that has Van X and then make that one cost $350 or something.
You're talking about for slip joints. I was thinking for the locking knives. Yeah, if the dealer wants to drive up,
you'd have to do like 400. Which
if the dealer wants to drive up the price of their exclusive and then charge more, like that's okay.
Like you should tell them like, hey, ask your OEM, can you guys do K390? Like a lot of people want to try that. Maybe a dealer would want to, like Knife Center, they do your stuff, right?
Yeah.
Knife Center would probably do
inside baseball on K390. I asked about K390 and they were like, we can't get it. They don't bring in enough of it because no one uses it, is what they said. I'm like, damn, Yeah,
I think when Riyadh uses it, whoever it is sending it.
Now I can send in steel, they told me. But I'd have, it's like, I got to go through the learning curve. There's going to be tax on that stuff. And then they won't give me the same warranty. Like if something
what's the warranty though?
No, meaning like, let's say something goes wrong during the manufacturing process. Like let's say they buy a batch of steel and they jack it up or something goes wrong. That's on them. But if I send in a batch of steel and they have a problem working with it,
by the way.
Yeah. So like if I send in a batch of steel, it's on me if they have a problem. I'm like, I don't want to take that risk because I don't have control over their processes over there.
Yeah. We have to remake X amount of blades because of blah, blah, blah. Well, now you're sending more steel. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. I mean, that's not worth the risk.
I mean, we've always used whatever the company has because the same reason. It just seems like a lot of like material. Okay. Because you're always going to send extra. And worst case, you could just put something else on it, but steel, you can't really.
No, and that's a big cost component of the knife. It's a real big cost component. And it's got to be like blanked and heat treated and ground and finished. And it's like, dude, not messing with it. So I'm kind of at the mercy of what they have available. And I think Riyadh, out of all the Chinese OEMs, seems to have the best steel selections.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell is going around saying there's all these U.S. OEMs. I mean, there really isn't. The companies that can do it rarely do because they can make their own shit. Like I've asked Tactile, people will mention Tactile. I've asked them to help me with a bit driver. They said no. They said they're working on somebody else's or their own bit driver. And they have their lathes tied up with a bunch of other shit. I've asked numerous U.S. companies to make a knife. It's, you literally, the thing is, you can get a knife made here in small quantities if you have the skills to set the lock bar and do the finish work on like setting the lock up. And the final finishing on like the blade and the handles and shit like that. You're basically doing the tuning once the knife is put together, and some finish work on the blade and stuff like that. Stuff that we don't have the skills to do. We're looking basically for somebody to make the knife and send us a full knife. Like, yeah, we could figure out packaging and shit like that and put it together. Like Ben already does that basically. He doesn't get the knife. Like we get the knives delivered from Kubi in a box ready to go, and then we put our stickers and cloths and shit with it. sure, if we got it made here, we could figure that part out ourselves. But we can't set lockup and, you know, all that kind of shit that is knife making, essentially. So that's where, you know, knife makers are the ones who do that. They'll do mid-tech runs. That's where I would say people are saying there's a lot of options. And I think there are a few options if you're doing that. But if you want, well, what do they call it?
Turnkey. You're talking about turnkey.
Yeah. If you want turnkey production on your knives in the US, there's very minimal options, and most of them are already working with like huge brands that, you know, like CRKT or whatever. And then a lot of the ones that are not a lot, there's not a lot. The few that I've heard of, I don't even like anything they make, you know. The quality isn't there. So I don't want to have knives made here that are lesser and charge you more. That makes no sense. If I'm going to get a knife made in the US, it needs to be as good or better than what we offer now, because it's going to cost you $500 minimum, basically, retail. So it's just a very tricky thing that it's not as easy as the people who don't deal with this think it is.
If it was easy, they could just do it themselves. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Well, that's true.
It doesn't exist. By the way, that noise was my dog.
It's out there, but it's just very rare. It's very small. I
think the only person I've even talked to that could do turnkey is Medford. He could do a true turnkey. Right. He has all the equipment.
But you're gonna have a Medford,
and it's that knife's gonna be $600 minimum.
And
so
it's gonna be a fucking anchor.
But I'm just saying, I don't even know anybody else who can make a turnkey titanium frame lock folder. I don't know anybody else who can do it.
No, what you always see is a fucking crossbar lock.
Yeah.
Or a button lock. You'll see ProTech does it for some people. They won't do it for everybody. I've asked. But they did it for James brand. And then like Hogue and shit will do crossbar locks for people, because those are easier somehow. I guess I think there's less.
You don't have to set locks, dude.
Yeah, I think there's less tolerance / clearance that goes into that. When you have to set lockup and shit, it's, you know, clearance and all tolerance and shit comes into play a lot more. You can't just print them off a mill and they all go together. It doesn't work that way. But with a crossbar lock, it kind of does work that way. Because you're just, you know, the spacing and everything for that lock. If you've ever noticed, if you handle a crossbar lock, you can wiggle the fucking shit out of the bar. And there's all this room in there. Well, that's because that leaves the room for error when they're putting together 200 of them back to back. They can just slap parts together. That's essentially the problem, right? If you want to break it down to the essence, we need parts knives, and you don't get parts knives here unless it's a fucking crossbar lock or maybe a button lock from ProTech. But again, you need to be somebody or know somebody to even have them do it for you. But apparently there's like a bunch of people who are buying all these machines and they're going to be OEMs. I've heard that 5 times now in 2 years, and I've never seen a knife actually come out. So we'll see.
Whoever was on Casey's live stream, don't spoil this for Kevin. But Kevin, do you know what animal this is from?
Exactly. Transparent. What?
Do you know what animal this is from?
The leather?
Yeah.
Alligator?
Nope.
Snake?
Nope.
Fucking
that's
horse?
from a cow.
Oh.
What's this from?
Wait, what?
I'm saying the backside is like saddle leather from a cow, but this is an exotic, not a horse.
Not a horse. So it's not an alligator or crocodile?
Correct. It's not those things.
Not a snake or is it like some kind of lizard or something?
It's not a land animal.
Not a fucking land animal?
Nope.
It's like a whale or something?
Nope.
I don't. What is it?
It's a shark.
Oh, shark skin? That's a real thing?
It's a thing, dude.
I thought that was just like what they say. I didn't think that was real.
These are suede lined. And yeah,
and who made these?
Piper Robertson.
Nice.
Her shit is dope. These are dope.
Oh, it's a lady?
Yeah, it's Tim Robertson. He's a custom slip joint maker out of Oklahoma, and Piper is his wife. And she makes leather goods. And I'll be dropping these and other exotic creatures of the world soon on the website.
That looks cool, dude. Oh, there's different ones?
I've got multiple animals coming.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. These are so nice. Like, I'm not gonna say they're the nicest, but they're up there.
That's nice, dude. Hell yeah, dude. You don't have to wait long. We have the tall boy coming in the next few weeks, and then the Urban EDC is finally dropping these suckers on the 4th of September. It only took 15 months, you know.
It was a minute to get those to the market, but they look good.
Yeah, they came out good. I actually am really happy with them.
Is it Sagaiha? Did I say that right?
Sagaiha. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
like
that word.
I don't think
But the milling pattern looks really clean.
Yeah. I was hoping they would do some. We talked about them doing some other versions, like fat carbons and like a bronze and stuff, but they didn't end up doing them.
So you just have all different tie with different ano colors and stuff?
Yeah, so we just have the ones that they did the pre-orders on.
What was that last one? Was that a dark blast or was that a coating?
That's actually the one. That's the one we gave you, dude. I don't know if you still have it, but
I do.
Acid wash.
Yep.
And then I suppose PVD,
right?
Not DLC.
Someone asked what other species I'm getting. Hey, listen, Henry, sign up for my newsletter because we're going to do a drop. I don't want to spoil it, but there's some really, really nice exotics.
Wait, was it a certain shark?
I don't know. It's just a shark. I don't know if it's a great white or a tiger head or whatever.
Well, you said species, so I guess I thought.
Well, I was just saying I've got other exotic leathers coming.
This is the last one. It's just plain tie.
Yeah, it looks good.
That's on the 4th, and then I'm super stoked on the nip slip. That one's coming sometime in September.
Oh, we've been talking about that one for a while too.
Yeah, this one we're doing with Austin.
Those will make. See, I'm the kind of guy where if I have a nip, I'm going to want to pair it with a nip slip. You know,
dude, this thing is my favorite knife we've done. Just the contouring, like this thing is so comfortable in the hand.
It looks good, dude.
And then you have the choil there, and the walk and talk this is a prototype. It's fucking stupid.
Is that the one? What's the one back in the day I helped you guys with the design?
You helped us with both. You helped us with the barley.
The barley, yeah.
And then I think Colin did hit you up on this because you helped us, I think, move this screw so that we'd get better walk and talk, which it fucking worked.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it has a stop pin, but it's fucking
that's all right. I mean, you have modern. Here's our modern slip joints. I like how the tang corner's hidden. This.
Oh yeah.
When it's closed, but it looks natural. It doesn't look like you just shaped the handle for the purpose of doing it.
And it's based off of this design. So
yeah,
it's completely different, but it is the same design. But yeah, we did orange collars with dark matter orange. We did purple with dark matter purple, and then we did black. We did like an all blacked out one with glow. Should be.
Is the orange? That's an aluminum pivot collar, right?
Yeah, we had to do aluminum.
Because you can't ornodye. You can't get orange ano on a titanium.
Purple one is tie, and the black one's tie. But I don't know. I don't know if anybody would care about the color.
No, who cares? It's just nice to get the color.
Yeah.
Show me the okay, so is it a D-shaped pivot in there, or is it just I
think so.
Yeah. It would have to be because you don't have tooling on that side.
Yeah, I believe it is.
It looks good. You gotta. I'd like to handle one of those. It's got a nice swedge.
We got them to do a full height hollow belt satin.
It's interesting. What made you guys drive the nail nick through the ricasso or through the?
I don't know. I guess you got to ask Colin about that.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. I just don't ever do that, and that's interesting.
I've never even thought about it. I've always just thought it looked right.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just it. It's there.
Might be because the hole does that on the.
Well, and maybe he didn't want to terminate it on the other side of the plunge just for the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
Or right, I see what you're saying. How the whole, but you don't have a full height hollow on that folder,
Nope.
just on the.
No, we don't. We couldn't get anybody else to do it except for QSP, because Austin's been kind of pushing them, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean they've come a long way. I got prototypes from QSP when I would switch OEMs way back. And I've seen their progression from before then through that. And before they made my prototypes, they were still doing crown spines and shitty chain geometry and all that. Like those original slip joints they made were not good.
Yeah.
But boy, are they getting it right now.
Yeah, dude. These we're stoked on that. It's probably my favorite knife we've got coming. Like carry wise, it's probably my favorite that I've actually carried around a bunch. I like the size. And then we're doing a custom slip to match each version.
Oh wow.
I think we're doing 25 of each for the
to
drop.
sell.
Yeah, they'll be separate. They won't come with a slip.
Is Troy making them?
This one's Troy. He did the orange. Oh, we did different makers. So the orange one is Troy. The purple one is Duty's Daggers, and then or Kevin Duty, and then the black one is River from
Sage.
Yeah, I think the black ones he ended up doing like a few different kinds, but they're all, I guess they're all gonna go with the black version. So we'll have those for people who want a custom slip with it.
I like it.
Yeah,
and
that's 90B too.
What are the dude? I need one of those. What are the configurations again?
So belt satin, purple collars. So basically the same as this, but just purple collar and purple dark matter. It was supposed to be.
Is that a titanium handle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is all the titanium that silver finish?
It's bead blast.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So the only changes are going to be the pivot collar and the scale insert.
Well, the one that's glow is black handle, and then black hardware, black wash blade, black collars, black hardware, and then dark matter glow. So that one's all blacked out with glow.
Okay. So there's blacked out with glow. There's dark matter orange. There's dark matter purple.
That's it. 300 pieces.
100 each.
Yep.
Put one of them orange ones aside for me.
All right.
An orange slip.
I'll tell Austin.
Yeah.
He's got them already. So.
Oh, really?
Yep. We just have to wait because we have all this shit to drop. Like he had this exclusive nip today that dropped, and then he's got a 80s tall boy dropping, and then we have the lush we did together with him, and then we've got the nip slip we did together with him.
Dude, you had when it rains it pours.
What?
When it rains it pours.
Yeah. We've been working a lot with Austin specifically. He's also doing a run of exclusive stouts, V2s. So,
well, he's the right guy to work with.
Yeah,
he hustles. He out hustles all my other dealers 10 to 1.
His marketing is unbelievable too. Like I couldn't keep up with when we did the lush. I couldn't keep up with just adding them to my fucking story. The amount of shit he was putting out.
You got to do it.
Impressive. Yeah.
Yep.
Can't be Jack Wolf without using wolf skin. Yeah, it's true.
Oh man, I don't even know if you can get that.
It would be cool though.
You usually need, tougher hides.
Baby shark. Baby
How
shark.
about Florida Everglades? Dude, python slips would be dope. Now, like it's scales. So sliding in and out of your pocket, is it going to jack that up real fast? I don't know.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. It's a good part. Yeah, dude, glow is sick. I never really was that into it, but Austin seemed to be really high on it. And I think you used it first.
I did.
I mean, at least the first time I saw it.
I was definitely one of the first to use it because I saw it at Blade Show and it was brand new and I immediately ordered it.
There's another company that does it. It's like marbled carbon with glow, I think. It was on Arcane Design a while ago.
You can get Chinese made glow in the dark carbon fiber.
That's probably what it was. It still looked good without glow. Like, you know what I mean? Like when it wasn't glowing, it still looked good. Still looked like carbon. That's the thing I really like about the dark matter glow is it just looks like marbled carbon fiber or something. It doesn't look like, oh, you have green shit in there. Like, I don't like glow in the dark stuff for that reason, but this doesn't really stand out otherwise.
And what's cool about the dark matter glow is when you hit it with the light, the strands are really thin, almost like hair, versus like big clumps of glow. You don't have big clumps of glow. You have looks like fibers of glow. It's really cool.
Wait,
it doesn't
which one is this?
The fat carbon dark matter glow.
Oh. I think the ones we had were a little bit more like
it depends on how it's bundled up in there, but
and it might depend on how you finish it. Your stuff always tends to kind of look a little different. I don't know if it's how they contour the scale or cut it. Like I don't know, but
I just think that dark matter glow,
it goes with the grain more. I think. Sometimes.
Yeah, it just looks different from anything else I've seen that's glow in the dark. Usually glow in the dark stuff has like big blocks of glow.
But it just looks blacked out, looks dope, and then if you want to hit it, you can, and it looks sick that way too. But that's what I like about it. It works either way. If you're not a glow person, then it's just black carbon.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I think Ben started it. Yeah, I think that's the first time I saw it. I'm sure that's why it probably did well for Austin. That's probably why he thought about it.
Yeah.
But we've done it now. We did it on the Lush. We're doing it on the NIPS slip, or we did it, and then it's going to be on the Stout B2s he's doing as well. One of the versions has it. Thanks, El Cap. And go check out the Facebook group too. I have basically been off of Facebook now for months. I just can't handle another app anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. Not everybody can love and participate in all the social media. I'm on Facebook way more than anything else. Like,
I use Instagram mostly.
Yeah,
and then,
Donnie's an Instagram guy, and he runs Instagram, so it's kind of nice because then I could go back to what I enjoy, which is Facebook. I just like Facebook. I'm 40, almost 44, like my age.
Gen X, probably, right?
I'm the closing chapter of Gen X, 1980.
So you're Facebook.
Yeah.
Millennials are Instagram, and then Gen Z, I guess, are like Twitter or TikTok.
Snapchats. TikToks,
yeah.
Yeah, Donnie said it's not even 9. I got up this morning at 4:30 because my son had to be up at school. He had to get dropped off at school at 6 because they went on a field trip in Flagstaff today, which was kind of cool. They got to do like a ropes course up in the forest at Flagstaff. I just had to get him there mad early.
That
so I've been up.
Cool.
Yeah, super cool. It's just anything to get out of this heat is nice. And I don't know if any of you guys have been to Flagstaff before, but you come to Phoenix and you're in the desert, and then you drive 2 hours and change to the north, and you're at 7,000 feet, and there's a ponderosa pine forest up there. It's like humongous.
I've been through Flagstaff. Is it Route 66?
Route 66, dude. Yeah. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, because you go from, I think I went there from Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think we drove up to Sedona, and then we went through Flagstaff to get to the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
Driving me nuts. It's gonna be $199. Pretty sure $199 on the NIPS slip. Would also like to, yeah, $199. That's the plan. We're cutting the margin pretty tight on that one, but that's the benefit of doing the exclusive model with a company like TPK. So we basically just split the cost down the middle, and then we split the profit down the middle. So it's a little different setup than us selling to a dealer.
Yeah, you make half the money because you pay half the cost, basically. And the dealer does that deal with you because he also doesn't have to pay the full cost. So it's a sweet deal for all you guys and the customer. So
yeah, I think it's a
really
good,
benefits from that.
It's kind of a idea I came up with when we first got started. I think I did it because it helped. One, it enticed companies to want to do projects with us because they get more out of it, sort of. The one downside that we've seen over doing it now quite a bit, the ones that we do with normal where we just sell them to dealers and then we keep some and sell direct ourselves, we end up making more money on that overall. Where the 50-50 deals, we don't have to put up as much, but we don't get back as much.
Yeah, so, less reward, less risk.
Yeah, exactly. But early on, it was really good. And I like to do it with dealers as kind of like to get to know dealers and kind of build a relationship with them. Because we work a lot one-on-one with it because it's literally just us working together. So I've gotten to know Austin really well from it. And it's kind of cool to have, like this model you can only get here. And so it's been fun doing it. But we don't do it with everything because some stuff, it's nice to make a little more on them. It just depends on the model, really, I guess.
Yeah.
And
if you guys were trying to do this full time, it wouldn't be very feasible to do that all the time either.
Right. Exactly.
What's up, Rock? I haven't talked to him in a while. Hey, Rock, what's the next knife show you're going to be at? Who's going to Blade West in here? Kev, are you going to be at Blade West?
Oh, no, my wife's due October 7th.
Oh, that's the weekend, basically.
And we also talked about just doing Blade Atlanta now.
Texas is pretty good, though.
I don't know. I think we're just getting a little burnt out of doing all the shows, and we're going to try to just get a booth in Atlanta and just do that show. And I don't know.
I could see that.
Again, if we were doing it full time, we'd probably keep going to every show, but it's just been, and the Texas was fucking rough this year, dude. I was sick and it just sucked.
Yeah.
It's also so much easier with Atlanta because Colin lives there. I just ship him stuff as I want to leading up to it, and then we just drive the shit there. We don't have to worry about how to get all our stuff there, and
yeah,
so it's more chill.
That's cool.
And it's the best show by far, dude. Texas is cool, and I actually probably liked Salt Lake better than Texas, to be honest. I only did Texas this year, but we've done Salt Lake, I think, 2 or 3 times. But I like Salt Lake better.
Salt Lake's slower, but it is more personal because
I mean the city. I like Salt Lake better.
Oh, yeah.
Although I was stuck in a hotel room most of the time, I could just tell. Salt Lake's cool. We rode around on the scooters and shit.
Yeah, Salt Lake's
really nice pizza place.
Everything's right
there.
out. Yeah, I don't disagree. It was kind of cool when the Texas show was smaller and it was up at what the hell do you call it? Up at Cowtown. But that venue was no good for what it's become. But that part of Fort Worth is way more interesting for people who are out of towners. Have you been up there? Oh, dude. You got to see that if you ever do the show again. Was that your first time at Blade, Texas, when you were sick?
Yeah, I saw
that's
nothing, dude. I saw the airport, the hotel room, and the venue. That was it.
Yeah. Well, that's why you don't have the same experience. Trevor, yes, I'll be at Rec, 100%. I'm stoked to go. So yeah, I'm hoping you guys are coming to the thing. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, check this thing out. This is their way of having
a clip slip.
It's a gravity knife. So this thing's cool. It's from Remet.
Yeah,
I still don't know what this carbon is. I think they said it was the Chinese kind, but it looks way better. It looks like a camo carbon to me.
Yeah.
But you've probably seen this knife by now, but
I have.
You push it and it opens the wings, and then this is actually DLC. So this is legit DLC. I did the scratch test.
You could tell just from looking at the way it looks. It looks like my DLC.
Yep. And one thing, if anybody here is an expert on DLC, I'd love to hear it. I tested the handle, and they've told me the handle is DLC, and I believe them because it's just obvious. But I was able to kind of scratch the handle right here a little bit. You probably won't be able to make it out, but I can.
Yeah, but Kev, that's probably because that metal's not as hard in general.
That's what they said. And I tried to say, okay, so if the titanium's at 40 HRC and the blade's at 60, the DLC adds X amount to each. And they were like, no, that's not how it works. They were like, it's a thin layer, DLC is. And because the material underneath is softer, you're able, I guess basically what you're doing is you're not scratching the DLC. I think you're scratching underneath it sort of, and it shows through. I don't know exactly. They sent me a whole basically Google readout of an answer, and it sort of made sense, but I'm trying to wrap around it. And it's hard. I'm just
if
why
you want to understand that, find a place that applies those coatings in the United States and call and talk to a salesperson. You really need to talk to an expert about that if you want to truly wrap your head around it.
Yeah. It's made of
I don't
titanium,
I don't care what kind of layer you put on something. If the metal underneath is soft and you push a bit driver into it, you can scratch it.
That's what I was saying. And I was talking to somebody who was like, well, I don't think it's DLC then or whatever. And I'm like, well, see, this is where I think in some cases PVD might be a better option for some things. But basically, if you have this in your pocket with your keys or something like that, it's probably going to hold up a lot better than it did to me fucking jamming a bit driver into it and doing this.
Because, bro, those bit drivers have hardened steel tips. Those bit drivers are hardened steel, tool steel.
It makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense. It's just because it's softer underneath that you can essentially get through the coating.
Yeah, you pierced it.
Yeah, I don't know. But these are available.
You displaced the metal. Looks good though. How's the lockup on those once it's is there blade play?
Dude, it's fucking good. There's no up and down play at all.
That's pretty.
And there's a little bit of side to side, but if you hold it here like you would, you're basically locking it down even more, and then there's no movement at all. It's 10 times better than the Riot version.
I was gonna ask which one you'd rather have.
This also, you can take this apart and flip the blade over and make it a lefty.
No way.
And then you can do this, and the blade will be down here when you play with it.
So is that a Chinese brand, Remet?
Yeah, they're a newer Chinese brand. They've been really cool. At first, I kind of didn't like them. They came on the scene a year or so ago, and they had really the first knife I remember seeing was a $20 knife on Amazon, some G10 14C ultra budget knife. And then all of a sudden, last year, they started coming out with premium type shit, Riot looking type shit, but unique designs, except for that one that looks like a F5.5. And I just got to a point where I kept seeing them come up, I'd be watching YouTube, and then Metal Complex would pop up and he'd have one, or Stasa or whatever. And I eventually reached out and was I'd love to check your shit out, because early on they were like, well, we can send you knives to check out, but you got to buy them on Amazon and then we refund you. People do this shit where they then send you PayPal to reimburse you for the review sample. And whenever somebody tells me that, I go, nah, like that doesn't just make sense to me. Like, one, you're losing money because you could just send me a sample that you don't have to then refund me full retail price for, right? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, I thought that was weird, and I was just like, so I just didn't really talk to them. I kind of talked shit for the first year, and then I hit them up again, and then they just like sent me something, and then the people I've talked to have just been really cool. So anyway, they have cool shit, but these are, I believe, on the website now, and you can use the LeftyEDC code, and it takes 5% off.
What kind of steel and what do they cost?
M390, and this probably is like $250, maybe. We could go look. Their pricing's like it's not like Kubi level of cheap. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's more like
I'd be interested to play with one, but I wouldn't buy one just because I'd never use it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd actually like keep and carry one.
Right.
But I could say that about basically any knife.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is it's a novelty for me. It wouldn't get me to part with my money.
Folding knife here, gravity knife. They're just doing like interesting locks and like that other one I showed you earlier with the pivot lock thing on it. That's one of theirs. So here's the DLC
290, 305.
305. So now here's the one I have, 316, and you could take 5% off. So what would that be? $15. So it'd basically be $300 if my math is right. But it is DLC, so it does add some cost to it. And it's legit DLC. But I don't know. They've just been a cool company. Like, they had a thing recently where some guy made a YouTube video on that knife. I showed it to you earlier with the lightning anode collars and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And he has some kit where he could test HRC, but it's like these little scratcher tools.
They're files. I've got a set of those.
Yeah, it's something like that. It has a name with an L. And he said the blade was the M390 was at 56. And so they hit up a couple of people I know. They hit up like LTK. They hit me up, and they were like, hey, can you test stuff for hardness? And I was like, well, I know a guy, Transparent Knives. He could do it. I asked him. He was like, yeah, I could do it. So they sent me 2 more knives on top of the one they had already sent me. So I sent him 3 knives to test. They provided all of them. Then they like sent me a PayPal payment just for my trouble. And they just wanted the numbers. And they also had another guy do the same thing. So, I mean, they put out a decent amount of money doing that. And they have a tester at their factory that was showing 60 HRC on the M390. And they have it listed at 59 to 61 or 59 to 62. I can't remember. And so they just wanted to know. Like, I honestly I'm like, so they gave me the range, and they're like, yeah, we don't know what they're going to come out at. We just want you guys to independently test it so we have that information. I've never had a Chinese company act like that. Usually they're like, they just tell you what it is. They don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. We put out a whole fucking post last week explaining why 59 is like acceptable and all this shit. Why they have to do lower HRCs, and basically telling people to shut up about higher HRCs. And I told Rivette, I was like, listen, if you guys bump this up to like 61 to 63, you'll get a lot of props like in the community. People will love that shit. They'll eat it up. So if you can do it, I recommend you do that. And they're like, I mean, it sounded to me like they were going to really consider doing it or try doing it and see what happens.
They're like, it's going to eat up. I'll tell you what, it's going to eat up belts and tools.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a difference it would make going up 1 or 2 HRC on M390. I don't know.
But I don't think that's like a linear scale. It's like decibels. Like every time you go up a number, it's an order of magnitude more.
Right.
You know?
Well, I guess they'll find out. But
yeah,
it would do them a lot of good in the community.
Certainly from a marketing standpoint.
Listen. But all the shit that I had tested was within spec. It was like 59.1, 59.4. One was at 60. I think the lowest one I had, I don't know if Brian's watching. I don't know if the lowest one I had maybe was 58.8, but I don't think one went under 59, but I could be wrong. But, you know, like that's within the spec they give. It's not great, though. So that's where I also told them, like, you guys might want to consider switching to like S90V, where if you do 60, 61, that's like really good for S90V. Where N390, it's like nobody likes it unless it's 62.
Michael, here's the black bladed Venom right here. It's a black wash. So it's got a DLC coating, and then it takes a trip through the tumbler.
That thing is that's a workhorse finish.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to, I mean, that thing right there is like 80 HRC, and it's tumbled, so it won't, I mean, that thing is going to be
this will look the same. You can carry this every
anything.
day in your pocket with your keys and shit, and it'll look exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, the carbon shouldn't get hurt by it. I should test that.
Raw dog it in your pocket.
Raw dog it. Let's see if we picked up any orders while I've been on the live stream.
The springs are nice on these, man. They're strong. They're a little bit stronger than the V1 Venom, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit. I put it at like 7.5, 7.5.
They're good.
And the original was at like 7.
Yeah.
My original one had a little bit more. I don't know if do the full tie ones have a little less acoustic?
They're just different. The full tie ones sound different.
Yeah. I think that's all it is. My original one does that thing where it hops and it fucking wiggles. It's like that amazing feel you just get lucky on, one out of however. Like I have 27 Jack Wolfs now, I think, and I have 3 that do it. You know what I mean? It's like those kind of odds. So I think the first one I have is just so fucking good. It's ridiculous.
Even the walk and talk on all these, each one feels a little different. Once you've opened and closed 1,000 slip joints 1,000 times each, it's like it's weird how you get the feel.
It's really good, dude. One thing I love about your knives is the no stop pin.
I know it. I
don't think I'd ever attempt it, but because I like a choil too much.
Yeah.
On our knives. So you have to
go. It makes a difference, though. It makes a difference.
But acoustically, it's that last. It's like, so you listen to this.
The thunk.
This sounds fucking amazing. But when you close it, you get that little clunk. Where on these, you get the same nice little clicks all around.
Yeah, it's that last note.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like on a locking knife where you get one where the detent just gives you a nice click.
Yeah.
And then you get one where it's like a thud and you're just like, it's kind of like that. It's like a built-in thud with the stop pin.
Yeah, it is.
It's sort of like a necessary evil on a knife like ours where it's got a choil. But I love that you do the kick on all of them. That's a touch that I don't think a lot of people maybe understand or appreciate as much.
Yeah, it's for the diehards. You know, I
that's a whole engineering step, I think, that is very important, probably with prototyping and shit like that.
Well, and then I have to contend with the fact that blades can wrap. So like I take in exchange for that acoustical treatment and keeping it traditional, I run the risk of having periodic blade wrap repairs I have to do for people, but it's just important to me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the way it sounds.
Yeah.
It's that last note.
I'm with you. That one sounds great. Yeah, I agree. There's some brands. I think right now, I think that Remet and Vosteed are the newer brands that are really doing a great job listening to people. Like, I review knives, and for 99% of the companies, they send me a knife, or maybe I buy it, whatever. I review the knife, I make a video, or what, and maybe I tell them like, this is awesome, or here's a couple things I'd change. But Vosteed literally sends me a thing after, not every knife, but most. They'll send me a thing like a month later that says like, it has like 10 questions on it. Like, what thing would you improve on this knife? How would you rate the action 0 to 5? How would you rate the whatever, like the design, all this stuff? And I think that's really cool that they go that extra step to get the feedback from the people that they're asking to review their knives. It tells me that they're not just using us as marketers,
Absolutely.
where that is the case a lot of times, Well,
and I've been working with the Chinese now for a handful of years, and they take a very logical approach to things. So they have sent you a knife, right? That's an exchange. And like what they expect out of that is your honest feedback. So it's like, okay, we made an investment in this person, and what we're supposed to get from that is honest feedback. So they genuinely care. They're not looking at it like, oh, this is going to get views. It's like, no, we're going to learn something.
I think some of the brands do.
But I'm saying that the Chinese, the way the Chinese think about that is what I'm speculating on, is that, if they have American representatives, maybe that's how they're thinking.
Yeah.
But I think the folks over there are thinking, we gave something of value, let's get something of value. And it's, this person's an expert, or their opinion is at least trusted. Whether they're an expert or not is debatable.
And another thing on the opposite side is dealing with the OEM stuff. They're really bad about giving bad news. Like, they would rather like do a half measure and send you something fucked up than tell you that something's wrong and just let you be like, dude, just fucking do it. Like, I don't care if I have to wait another month. Like, it's something we've had to deal with a few of the OEMs, where we've had to eventually just tell them, listen, like, just wait until they're all 100% good to go. Like, we don't need you to rush them out the door and get them to us. And then, like, Kuba used to do that early on. They'd be like, they'd send us the knives, and then they'd be halfway here, and they'd be like, well, we had 25 of these that there was a little fuck up on the blade, and we're going to fix all those and then send them to you later. And we're just like, dude, just hold all of them until they're all done, and then just send them to us. Like, I just, the weird shit that sometimes they'll do, or like obvious shit. Like, we had in the Lush run, we had 38 of the black ones with glow that the jimping was completely knocked down. Like, the jimping was just flat. We ended up selling those as seconds.
Did they just forget to cut the slots in the jimp, or were they milled?
No, they were there.
Lower.
They were just completely knocked down. Like, my theory on it is, at one point, they told us these knives are ready. It was around Blade Show. And then they said, oh, wait, there's some black bladed ones that we have to redo the blade. I think it was because she even asked, like, do you want to just have us send these, or do you want us to fix it? And there's like an obvious issue with the way the tip was. And it's like, what do you think my answer to that is going to be? Like, yeah, just send the fucked up ones. So we're like, no, fix them. And then My guess is they redid those to reuse the blades instead of remaking new ones. And they forgot after they tumbled it again or something, they forgot to like recut the jimping or something. I don't know. But we ended up with 38 of them that way. And it's like, there's no way this got through QC or whatever. They probably were just like, yeah, fuck it. Hopefully they don't notice.
What's the remedy from the OEM for that?
Well, really, they wanted us to, they're like, well, you'd have to take the knives apart because you can't ship to China without. And I was like, I talked to Austin and we were both like, it's not worth it. We'll just ask for a discount. No.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So I just asked, I was like, hey, give us 50% credit on these and we're going to sell them for lower cost.
Yeah.
And we'll sell. So we sold them as seconds for 125 instead of 199. And they gave us 50% for those 38 or whatever. So on our next order, which there might not be a next order because we're thinking about maybe moving the Lush to somewhere else just to see how somebody else would do with it.
Yeah.
There's just some little things with concept. Like these, they come out good. They're well-made knives. Like for $200, it's hard to complain, about anything.
It's a lot of knife for $200.
But they don't do captive pivots. Like they can't do it. It's not that like you choose to do a pivot the way you do it, right? With this, I actually like that. I like a spinning barrel pivot because the blade, it's all even in there. There's no D shape or any bullshit.
I like concentric bores, like from an engineering and design standpoint, but they would make me whatever I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can't do belt satin or won't, whatever. They refuse to change the inlay screws to T8s.
Oh, really?
They only use T6s on those. And I actually have come to appreciate it because it minimizes the screws and it makes the inlay look a little bit like fuller.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
And the T6s are really good. Like your bit is in that fucking T6 and it sticks in there.
Yeah.
Never had one strip. But still, we asked, like, can you just do T8s? And they're like, no. Like, there's just little things like that where it's like they just won't do things.
Those are weird
that's not how they
to
do
die
it.
on.
And it's like, okay, but somebody else will. So
yeah,
we might just try somebody else just to see. Like, I think Kubi could do a great job with that knife. Now that they've been pretty adept with inlays and stuff, that was always the risk there, going what I call premium with Kubi. But lately, it's obvious that they can do it. And we also thought maybe Riot. That would be fun as hell to do a Riot made version of that.
I'm sure you can get those guys now to make you anything in a reasonable time frame. Like the market is soft.
Yep.
So anybody,
that's what we've heard. The time frames are down to like 3 or 4 months now with Riot.
Yeah, I think everybody is. It's just
I just need it. I need to get through to them because David or whatever, he won't respond. And then I have a contact for a guy in the U.S. This John guy, but it's just hard.
They have girls. They have girls who.
Yeah, I think that's once you're actually like once you're in. I don't know. It's like with all the other OEMs, we usually have like that contact, but that's not. I guess the main salesperson. It's like a U.S. guy, as I understand it. He handles the U.S. orders, and then he probably gets a percentage of them all.
I still buy my leather sleeves from them.
Yeah.
But I deal
well,
with
it's different for you because you probably went through Enrique. He probably hooked you up.
He hooked me up with David back in 2000.
And that's somebody hooked me up with David and was like, here's his email. Just tell him I sent you. And I did. And I still have no response. I followed up like twice.
When was the last time you reached out?
I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or a month ago.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. We are trying Remet actually with this. They were one of the only company. Actually, they're the only one who's committed to actually making the prototype of our bit driver design.
Oh,
I have a
UFO.
titanium version in the mail, actually. So the design is from a guy called, his name is Oleg, is O.show, is his like whatever maker's name or whatever. Is his design, but it'll be a Divo product. And so it's a bit driver with a base, and then we added magnets immediately after I got this. I was like, dude, we have to add magnets. So there's a magnet in here and in here, so it'll sit like this. And then the way he set up the magnet strength, he's from the Ukraine. He had a local shop there make him samples. Basically they're like the customs, and then we'll have the production version. Fucking balloons. And they can only make like a handful, you know what I mean? But he was able to basically fully prototype it in a machine shop, which is cool. So the magnet strength on those is set up so that you can lift it off of here and it doesn't lift the bottom with it, but it's strong enough that it won't like tip over easy. So it'll just pop off when you lift it off. So the base has a really good bearing in there. It'll spin. On the updated version, this is like all flat. It's not.
Wait, help me understand like why you want that thing to spin so you can access the bits.
Yeah, I mean, like here's an example of that from Get Good Screw. It's also just cool that it.
Yeah, but show me your prototype again, because it had bit holes on the bottom and the top.
Yeah, so like I said, the one side now on the updated version is flat. I don't think the bottom ones are there.
Okay.
I actually kind of liked it this way because this actually empty could be used as a fidget spinner.
Yeah, it could, but I mean, you're gonna pull your bits out of it just to play with it, put them back, kind of.
Yeah, but anyway, so the bits go in there, sits like this, and then you have a bearing in here, and you have a really comfortable bit driver, nice grip, 1/4-inch bits, and then the party trick.
Get out of here.
This unscrews, and there's another driver in there. So now you have essentially a skiff finger bit type thing that you could use on spinning barrel type stuff or whatever. Or you just hold another bit down here if you want a T6 here, a T8 here, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can just put it back together.
I dig it.
So that's the idea. We're calling it the Bit Bomb.
Bit Bomb. Nice.
Yeah, because if you put it like this with all the bits, kind of looks like shrapnel around it.
It looks like a UFO to me.
Rocket or something. I don't know. That's the name we had for a driver we designed a while ago. We never really got fully fleshed out, and this is close enough that I think that name works.
I like it. What's up, Robbie Mills?
Yeah, Todd, that's the same. That's the same one. I think he sent Vu the Thai prototypes, and then Vu's sending me a couple of them. And then we're just trying to find somebody to fucking make it. I've tried Kubi, Best Tech. I actually emailed. It was one thing I emailed to David at Riot. Again, no response. I tried Divo Knives. They are still sort of working on if the CAD will work or whatever. I tried Ant Design. They were going to do it, but then they were like, it's going to cost this much. And they like didn't want to do it. They said it was too complicated. Best Tech quoted us $140 a bit driver.
What do you think they should cost? Because those don't look like they're going to be cheap to make.
I don't know. I don't know because I honestly don't know. $50, $55
more than that. It's just the machine time on that.
It doesn't have a. I don't know, but it doesn't have a blade. You're using a lathe mostly.
I know it's just a machine.
But, I mean, that's the quote we got from the first people we went through. The quote we got was 55, I think, and they didn't want to do it because it was complicated. And they wanted I think they wanted $2,000 for prototypes, which isn't terrible, but it just seemed kind of wild.
What if
I hadn't talked to anybody else yet to see if the pricing lined up.
What if I get my guys to make it for you and I middleman it for you and I tack on a margin on it?
I mean, it would depend on the price.
Yeah, we could talk about that. I get me giving them more work and me helping you solve a problem, and then you just got to grease my pocket a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The only downside to that would be you wouldn't tell me who it is.
Nope, you would communicate with me and me only.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, Kevin's the biggest pain in the ass I've ever worked with. I'm never doing this again.
That's exactly what you're going to think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would be my only downside, because I really like to know who it is and tell people. That's just how I
understand. Well,
but anyway, these guys are working on the prototype, so we'll see. We shall see. But I wouldn't mind using them for knives as well. We've gotten pretty settled in with Kubi. We just love what they do for what they cost. Like, it's just
the knife thing I'm not as interested in, because knives are way more complicated. You know, like the back and forth and your expectations and all that.
Well,
I want to get
this driver is complicated, apparently. I mean, you got magnets, you got the threading, you got the base, and you got another bearing inside there. So there is a lot going on. He actually has another design of it with 2 parts that unthread and hold bits. So you can actually store 2 bits. And then he has another design similar that has like a lot of fidget stuff built in that is pretty cool. So if it goes well, we could do some different versions and stuff. But yeah, it's just been really hard to find somebody who will make it. Like, I've had a lot of OEMs just be like, we can't make it. We don't have the machines or whatever.
You know what? You're right. It is pretty sophisticated. It's threaded on. You got like the one part's got male threads, the other part's got female threads. You've got bearings in both parts
and magnets.
Magnets. Yeah, it sounds like a pain in the ass. That thing sounds like.
Yep. Definitely some assembly required.
Yeah, man. I mean, if anything, it's like, you know,
it's why when they ask me, they're like, what quantity? And I'm like, how much is it? Like,
well, and no one's gonna
say 100, because you might tell me it's $150 like Best Tech did. Well, I'm not gonna want to spend, you know what I mean? It's just like, and I also don't know the market for a bit driver set.
I don't think my guys would make any less than 300 of those. It wouldn't be worth their time.
Know? Again, what's the price?
Yeah.
Like, I would order 300 if I knew the price would, like, how much, what is that? If it, let's say it's $55, like the one person quoted me, what's 300 of those?
15,000.
Yeah. That's not very much. But I also don't want to do that if I can't sell them.
Sure.
Then it's pointless. But if I spend 15 grand and I end up sitting on 150, I don't care. That's not terrible. But if they're $150 a pop, then it's a different story.
Yeah, well, now you're over 30,000. Now you're $45,000.
Yeah, and I sell only half of those. Okay,
yeah,
and I don't even know if that would be the case. I'd have to sell those for, I don't know, $250 to like kind of be in the realm of making sense, because I'm gonna obviously the designer's gonna get. I'm gonna give him 10% or whatever.
Well, Kevin, what about like? Okay, I'm just thinking out loud here. You got a pretty sophisticated bit driver, but okay, if I'm looking at that thing, maybe I would just be happy if with just the shape and the top bearing. Like, sell me the bit driver. Do I need the base? Do I need the magnets? I don't need all that shit. Well, that's what
I'm saying. I haven't figured all that out yet because I haven't found anybody who can make it yet. But it's possible that we could order, like, 300 of the driver and only 150 of the base, and then maybe sell them. You could buy just the driver, or you can buy it with the base. If you order both, you get a discount or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I see it as a set though, personally. Just because
is it
of the
made
way
out of
it
titanium?
sits on there, but if it can't be affordably done as a set, then yeah, I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah. Because is that supposed to be titanium, that thing?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, so dude, a titanium, a high-end titanium bit driver with base, all those threaded parts, magnets, dope-ass bearings. Like I'm spending 150 to $200, right? For something like
That's
that.
the question. I don't know. If Best Tech quoted me 140, then somebody else can do it for 100, no problem.
If you can get them done for 100 and charge, like you don't want to charge more than 200. Guys just won't buy them. And your market's even small at 200 for something like that because it's such a niche item.
Yeah,
because most guys looking to buy a bit driver.
This is all the stuff I'm trying to figure out, and I need to know pricing before I can do it.
Yeah,
but if I could do it where I have double the drivers and I do the bases and do it that way, I think that would make sense. But then why does the driver have the magnet in there? I'm going to put it in every one of them.
I don't know.
And depending on polarity, I don't know how that works. If it would work with, maybe you could just flip it over, but if it would work with any base, or would it be able to just stick to like a blade or something? For people who have like a metal desk or whatever, they could just magnetize it to it. Might be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all, but again, if it ends up being $55 like the other people quoted us, I mean, or even if you could do it in aluminum, you could do it in aluminum and sell it for $100. That could work.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. I like how Josh Branson's still in the chat. I feel like an hour ago he said he was going to bed. I guess you're not going to bed, huh, Josh?
He's trying to sell a Benchmade 552.
He's having too much fun hanging out with us.
That sucks, dude. USPS blows.
Man. Boy, they have hits and
the base instead. Make it double as a screw holder and a steel plate in the top of the driver. Oh, I see what you're saying.
One magnet and a steel plate, so you don't have two magnets.
I mean,
I don't know, Kev. That sounds like a very ambitious project to me.
Well, I'm down for that if it.
No, but I'm just saying
if it works out,
it's tough because you're just to get it made at high quality, and you want a certain price, then they're going to want a certain quantity.
Yeah, which would be fine.
Yeah.
Again,
but
if
you're having trouble getting people to quote it, there's a reason. They're looking at that. I don't think
a lot of the OEMs do a ton of it.
Tools.
It requires a lathe.
Yeah, it definitely requires a lathe.
Which I think a lot of the OEMs I work with are mostly on CNCs, and they outsource screws and shit to. There's probably like one factory in China that has 1 million lathes, and they do all that shit for people.
Yeah, they buy their hardware from someone.
So it's kind of figuring that out. They're probably like, well, it's not worth it to have it go through them or whatever. But I don't know, Remet, they're gonna make a sample and let us know. So we'll see. And I even told them 100 pieces because I was like, I don't know the fucking price. If you quote me $300 a piece, like now I'm stuck. I'm supposed to order, 300. I think 300 would be a good number if it's a reasonable price. And I don't mind sitting on some, sell them to dealers or whatever, and just piecemeal them out. I don't think it would be impossible to sell those. It wouldn't be like, hey, they're dropping and they all fucking sell out, but it might work. We shall see, though. We shall see. Yeah, Robbie, sorry about that, but we were kind of testing the Zircuitai on that. We didn't even know what it was going to look like when we ordered it, so I wasn't risking ordering a bunch of them, so I just ordered 10. Next time we'll probably add a few more, but it's a balance, dude. Like if you look at the kits, right? I can actually pull up inventory right now. Let me see on the NIP. Lite hardware. Let's see. NIP Lite hardware kits. So I had 9 of the 3 different titanium versions available today and 5 of the Zircuti. I still have 6 blue. So we've sold 3 of the blue kits, 7 of the black, and 8 of the purple, and all 5 of the Zircuti. And they're cheap, dude. $25 for a hardware for collars and a backspacer in titanium. I think that's pretty cheap. And the Zircuti set was 50. So, but we've noticed that people don't really buy the hardware kits that much. We do it because it's cool, and some people, you know, they want to black their shit out or add a pop of this or whatever, but it's not like if you offer accessories like that, they don't sell as much as like the, you know, the knife would. So I guess that's what I'm saying. Will you ever do a Mokutai set? I mean, it's basically the same thing. This was Zircuti. It's oh, maybe she's talking to, or he's talking to you. I don't know.
I've never messed with it.
Like this is what we did for the NIPS. It's Zircuti.
Okay,
Which is very similar to Mokutai that you're thinking of. I mean, it has the blue and the golds in it and whatnot. You're only really seeing this portion right here.
Dude, it makes me think back to your very early video. You know what I'm talking about?
What? Which one?
Well, you're like, oh my God, I don't know why you.
Oh, the dog shit pie?
Exactly. Like, oh, you and your Mokutai and dog shit pie and like whatever the fuck that is, bro.
Mokutai, dog shit pie, Zircuti. Yeah. Yeah, I used to make fun of it. I still don't put it on everything, but
it's just funny your evolution. You went from shit talking Mokutai to selling Mokutai hardware kits.
Zircuti hardware.
Zircuti, excuse me. Dog shit pie hardware kits.
Yep. I did ask Kubi if they could make like 10 sets for the original NIP because I had people asking for the original. So I'm going to try to get those for you guys. My point is the what am I trying to say? The amount of people that want it, the demand for it is a lot lower than you would think. So it's not really worth it to really do it. You know, if we sell 10 sets of each color, like I think most people probably just wouldn't even offer it anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot of
we do it because
for a little bit of juice.
You know, we do it because we want, you know, whoever is interested to have the option to whatever. But when there's a version that everybody wants, they just fly up, you know, and they're gone because we didn't anticipate it, I guess. Yeah. And now if I hit up Kubi and I was like, hey, I want 20 more of those Zircuti sets, I guarantee you I'd sell 5.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, Ron. Thank you, man. Yeah. See, I'm pretty sure if I did that, I'd be sitting on 15 at least. We definitely could have ordered more. We probably could have doubled or tripled the order, yeah. But again, we didn't even know what it looked like when we ordered it. I wasn't even sure it was Zircuti until a week ago when I really examined it and asked again, and then I could see the gray in there and figured out it was Zircuti. So, you know,
one of these days I'm gonna have to get up to speed on all the ties.
Oh no, you should ask your OEM if they can do it.
I know there's a difference between the Chinese stuff and the American stuff.
Yes.
I know that the American stuff you get from like American Metal Exchange. George Palagonia. He's got those. Dude, I've seen the sheets at like Blade Show. They're like $600 for like a sheet this big. It's crazy.
Wait, are you talking about Chad Nichols?
No, well, Chad Nichols has stuff, and then George Palagonia has stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's American Metal Exchange.
Thanks,
and I know they ship massive quantities of that shit to Riot. So Riot has the good stuff.
Dark Tie from Chad Nichols is incredible. And
yeah,
it's
I know
really
Chad
expensive.
well. I've seen him talked to him at every knife show for the last several years. I could get stuff from him, but it's just, man, it's enough work just keeping this thing going the way it is without all the additional little special projects.
That's the thing, you know. It is. It's special projects, and you did like it financially.
That's not where the
they
money
don't
gets made.
necessarily make sense.
No, that's not where the money's made. You do it to add value to your customers.
Yes.
You do it because we love it. We're knife guys, but there's only so many special projects a guy can bite off.
Like you're doing slips and artwork stuff and whatever, coins and shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's little stuff we try to do, but it's, you know, it's a balance.
Did you see my coffee mugs?
No.
Oh, dude, they're dope. Go to my website and look. Maybe we can sell some coffee mugs to these guys right now in the chat.
Mokume. Yeah, I actually don't like Mokume. That's the one that is just like copper and nickel and brass and bronze, and I don't like any of those metals. Just heavy and fucking smelly.
Go to the bottom.
Hold on, this is making me want to find that Mars Valley one I was telling you about. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe I was either this one or it was that Berg Blades knife I was thinking of. And you're right. Looks just like this.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about the Benny, dude. When I did the video, I was like, the last one, I was like, it was the fixed blade. And then I was like, what the fuck was after that? I couldn't remember. So many. It's fucking incredible. Yeah, so here's your special projects, guys.
Yeah,
custom leather, coins, clothing, hanks. Chris makes baller hanks, by the way, guys. These are sick. Ranger eyes and patches, clothing. The posters and artwork are dope. I've been meaning to. Oh, okay. You have these fucking screaming pirate looking ones.
Deneen pottery.
Cool. $40. Damn.
Bro,
I mean, it looks like a handmade fucking mug.
They are. They're handmade. They're hand thrown. They're loot. But we sold about half of them. You got to buy freaking 96 of them.
Jesus.
I know.
Anybody looking for a mug? I am sharing this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody looking for a mug?
I mean, you look around at what people charge for these mugs, it's always around this $40. Like, you can't sell them for cheap.
I don't buy mugs, so that's why it was like, damn.
I know. But this is the one everybody in my Facebook group said they wanted, and we sold
it. Does
enough
look good. I mean,
They're
if you
nice.
Sold half, you've close to covered your project.
Yeah,
but
dude, they weigh over a pound, those suckers.
See, that's why I wouldn't want one personally, because why would I want a heavy thing? I don't drink coffee either.
That's why you don't want one. But you know, you sit in the morning, you pick up your heavy mug, you enjoy it,
smoke a stick,
take a dump.
I even have the Mars Valley Benny, and I don't know. I really like Mars Valley too, Robbie. Oh, you mean on the Benny? Yeah, with the black hardware, it was smart.
That knife came together really good.
Yeah. Do they come pre-teabag, Ben?
Yes, we teabagged every one of them. Me and Donnie.
I had a guy today. I don't know if you're in the live stream, so I apologize if you are. I'm not going to say your name, but I had a guy today. He ordered a nip. He emails me before the live stream. He's like, "Hey," I ordered a gray nip. This one. All right, let me put this down for a second. So he's like, I ordered the gray nip, and he's like, and then I ordered a purple hardware kit, pivot collars and backspacer. He's like, can you put the hardware kit on for me, and whatever? And I'm reading the email, and I'm responding, and I go, yeah. I was like, I could put it on for you, but it might just take a little longer for me to ship it, like whatever, right? And then I got upstairs to do it, and I grabbed my gray one just to like look at it, and I was like, wait, this is fucking purple. So I emailed the guy back and I'm like, dude, that knife has purple already. Do you want to cancel that? Or like, you want me to refund you the purple kit? Cause I don't know. Like, it was just so strange. Like maybe he didn't realize it had purple. He thought it was black or something. I don't know. It was just funny.
Guys get excited and they act quickly.
Yeah, I guess. And I was actually like, fuck, I wanted to say no because, I got to take the knife apart. I got to ship 200 knives or whatever. And I got to take it apart. But then, part of me is like, I don't want to be a dick. And the guy, asked me to do it. I'm fine doing it. It's just
some people don't like taking their stuff apart. I get it.
No, I totally get it.
Yeah.
But I just was like, fuck. And then I went to do it. Like,
yeah, you're like,
I just
done.
Went, yes. I was like, yes.
That's the fastest repair job I've ever done.
Wow, here, check this out, dude. I got this in yesterday from Lite. They have a Kickstarter up.
Is that a gyroscope?
It's a compass.
Oh, interesting.
But it's in I guess, a gyroscope thing. They said it's modeled after the eye of a grotto or something. I'm guessing it's some Roman thing or Greek thing. But when you hold it, it self-levels. When you hold it like this, like a compass, it self-levels. And you can just, look at the compass. It's pretty cool. And then you can tighten this screw down. You thread it down and it'll straighten it all out.
Yeah.
So it doesn't rotate at all, which is pretty cool.
You can always tell when someone's from the East Coast if they say compass.
What do you say?
Compass.
You compass?
Compass.
Yeah, well, maybe we're not fucking weird.
Compass. And then
you
know what that thing? Yeah, when you say it all slow, it sounds weird. And then I'll tell you what that thing is. That's the time warp thing from the movie Event Horizon. That thing's bad news, bro.
Titanium. It's titanium and shit. It's really nice.
Cool.
I like it.
It's cool. It's cool.
Odical S2 tie. Anyway, they have a Kickstarter up on it.
That's the thing that pierces the fabric of space-time in Event Horizon and goes through hell and possesses the whole ship.
It reminds me of something else. It's a movie where the guy has one and it like lets him or her travel through time or something. One of those deals. Reminds me of that too.
You know who
makes Golden Compass? Is that what it's called? Isn't there like a show or a movie or something?
I've not seen it. You know who
I think
makes
it was called Dark Matter or some shit like that.
Glow Rhino makes those. Do you know that? They make the military compasses.
They actually, I don't know if I have it.
They're in Dearborn, Michigan. Every year I keep intending to go visit their facility when I go to Michigan in the summer, but I haven't been.
Somebody sent me a compass, a little mini tie compass once. Or I've gotten a few of them, actually. I actually have a whole box right here from CountyCom. They were kind enough to send me a bunch of shit, and it's been a month, and I have not opened this. It's just still sitting.
Open it right now.
I just have no time to do anything. Like, I struggle to get videos up now.
Yeah. Well, dude, you got a lot going on, man. It's about to get worse for you, too.
Yeah. Re-release of the After Hours, Jack.
It's coming, man. I'll do another run, I promise.
Yeah, next week we're having the whole upstairs. The floor's redone.
Oh.
Yeah. Fuck carpet, dude.
Yeah, man. I mean, I like it on my feet.
Yeah, maybe if I put it in, but like anytime I buy a house, it doesn't happen that often, but the 2 times we bought a house, I don't know. There's something about carpet that's already there that's weird to me. Like it.
Oh, I know. It's like it
has
out.
Those people's smell. It has, and there's always stains and shit you find, and like or it's matted in some places, and it's just, I don't know. So we always end up putting that LVP stuff down because it's waterproof. It's like basically scratch proof for the dogs, the kids. So we're doing the whole upstairs and that stuff. We got area rugs for each room.
Brian with the freaking bringing the joke back. I guess the compass stains in other people's carpet. I'll tell you what you do not. The worst thing you can do is turn all the lights off in the house and get that black light flashlight you got to charge up your, your glow carbon fiber. Oh no, it's like you don't ever want to do that.
I remember looking at the walls and going, "Who the fuck got murdered in here?" Like,
yeah, it's not good.
It's bad, dude.
Michael asked when the Venoms drop. They drop tomorrow, my friend.
Yeah, I gotta take a piss like a racehorse.
We should probably wrap it up sooner.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I do want to give something away.
Give away that County Com box.
No, I gotta make a video.
Yeah, hey, Jesse, I heard him say worder too. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, oh man, do I have to call this guy out?
It's not worder. It's wooder.
Wooder. It's water.
Just because you guys are weird, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, here, let's do this. Let me see. These are cool.
Michael, who's going to have them? All my dealers are going to have them. Go to jackwolf.com, jackwolfknives.com, and then on the menu in the top corner, click that, the 3 bars. And I got an authorized dealer link, and all the dealers are listed, and they'll all have them.
I meant to tell you earlier.
You guys are hilarious sometimes.
The slip. So because it's a gravity knife, they have a milled clip on it, but it's not really safe because if that button gets touched.
Right.
So the way they designed it, you put the knife in the slip so the clip is exposed, and then you can use the clip. It actually works, and it's kind of cool.
That's clever.
Yeah, it's clever. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So let's give away this. This is a Reich knife. Since we're talking about Event Horizon and fucking space movies, this is called the Alien. This is the Alien 1B. So it comes with 2 blades. This one's serrated. And then there's obviously the one in there. Pretty sure this knife's relatively expensive because it's fucking nice materials. So this is called the Alien.
I remember seeing that.
And it has this really fun, this is a flipper tab that works really well. And you can replace that blade even though it's an M390. They have this one and the serrated one. It's like a Kiradashi looking blade. And it's actually one of the most comfortable knives to hold. It's incredible how comfortable this thing is. It's like a little liner lock deal down here that you can disengage. Good action. And you can actually flick it, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Let me just get the spot. Bang.
It's wild, pretty man. Cool. They got some wacky shit going on in their engineering department.
This is how you remove the blade, I think, right here. And then this is the pivot.
All right.
Very cool. At worst, you probably have like a $200 or $300 souvenir.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt you could. I don't know if you'd be able to sell this on the secondary and make some money off your giveaway, but maybe. I actually think it's a really good knife, though. It's just goofy as hell looking. So that'll be the giveaway. Yeah, I guess it is a utility knife. You can just sharpen the blades. I wonder how Reich is to work with as an OEM. Their in-house stuff is a little too wild, but the Microtech stuff they make is nice. Yeah, I have talked to them about it. I just never followed through because it's just there's so many OEMs.
Yeah, they're always at the shows. I'm sure you could talk to them.
Yeah. Is he just saying the word?
They're talking about like on your videos you say shh, but instead of the word shit.
I say that? I always wonder, are you self-censoring on the fly when you say shit or something in your videos? Or is that something YouTube is automatically doing because it doesn't always happen? I don't know what you mean. Like, can you give me an example? Because shit is a bad. What do you mean that it's not censoring if I say shit?
No, I think he said later that it's sometimes he says sh and that's it, but means shit. Like you say shh,
What
and
the
leave out the it.
I don't know. It might just be me being like, "What the shit?" Not sure, dude.
Groundhog
definitely don't censor because I curse a lot. So
Groundhog wants to know if that knife cuts carpet well. You guys are funny, man. I love when the jokes come back around from earlier.
I don't know, dude, because I'm paying somebody to do it. I'm not cutting the carpet.
My dogs love pulling up the damn carpet. My puppy, anyway.
All right, we'll do.
Let's do it. I gotta go to bed.
Venom.
Yeah. What kind of audience size do we have in here tonight? Do we hit 100 people? I wasn't looking.
Yeah, it was weird. We had like 150 at one point.
Nice.
Yeah. Usually it's like 100, 110 or 115. I've never really seen that many. Well, I mean, unless it's like I'm giving away this
Yeah. Giving away an unopened county com box.
Yeah.
What's inside?
I don't know if the title like somehow pulled people in. It just says, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say anything crazy. So maybe we just get more people lately. Is summer over?
No, it's not.
Someone like the video? Oh, yeah. I never say anything about liking the video because I don't care, I guess.
He said, I bet it cuts dog shit. Dog shit pie.
Sometimes you don't say the whole word, but I've sworn in videos and always hear the whole word in editing and watching the video after, but have a small outdoor channel. I don't know. You think YouTube's censoring me? It's probably just me being weird, maybe. Next time, point it out. Like, send me a video link or something. I can tell you right away. It'll be obvious.
All right. Are people doing the hashtag Venom thing? Are they supposed to start that?
Oh, I didn't share it. I guess they didn't.
No one's doing that yet.
Ben is like, get me the fuck out of here. Dude, you can roll if you need to get to something, though.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. It's past my bedtime. I get up at 5:30.
Oh, I wasn't being sarcastic.
No, I know.
I was just saying, if you got to, yeah.
I'd like to see who wins.
I am just giving away an alien knife. We're not actually giving away a Venom. Although, in the movie Alien, technically he does have Venom, right? So, kind of works.
He does. She does. It's a she.
Oh, really?
It's the mother. Yeah.
Guess you've seen that movie a few times.
Oh, absolutely. It's classic.
Everybody knows Aliens is way better.
No, you're the worst.
Alien is horrible.
Terrible taste.
So boring, dude.
No, it's not. It's
come on. Bill Paxton kills it, dude, in Aliens.
Aliens is a popcorn movie. Alien 1 is the suspense. It's groundbreaking.
It's the horrible one.
It's good.
And then there's the later one. What is it? The prequel, Prometheus.
None of the rest of them are worth a damn. I've seen them all. But can I tell you what is a good movie to go see in the theater? And I don't plug a lot of movies in the theater because I pretty much stopped going because there's so much garbage these days. But go see Twisters.
Oh my god, dude!
It's excellent.
Talk about a popcorn movie. I heard they just remade. I heard they just remade Twister.
No, we watched the first one the day before, and then we went to see it in the theater. You don't even have to see the first one. It's not a remake. It's almost entirely unrelated.
Well, what the fuck? Somebody told me it was the same movie. They just made the same movie, same plot and everything. It wasn't?
No. I mean, it's tornadoes, but
Dorothy's not in it?
in the beginning for like a little bit.
So is it a sequel, I guess?
It's like, let's just say it's inspired by the original.
Let's just say it's the main character's kid or some bullshit in it.
It's not. There's no connection to the previous cast.
Oh. Oh,
it was entertaining.
It's
Yeah, it was entertaining. And to see that movie in the theater is fun because the sound system and all that, you know, like it's better to see a movie like that in the theater than at home. So I'm just saying, if you want to go take a date to the movie, I think you'll be entertained.
Alien was a snooze fest. Aliens rocked. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's right.
It's a shallow approach, but we can agree to disagree. It's like you like Terminator 2.
Everybody to go see Twisters.
I'm saying it's entertaining. I didn't say it's like top tier cinema.
Yeah. All right. What did I see recently that was entertaining? I saw the new King Kong movie, Godzilla King Kong movie. If you like action, there's action. Definitely not a good movie, but it was cool. Oh, you're watching T2? Fuck yeah, dude. Judgment Day?
See, of course I like T2, but T1 over T2 for life.
They're both good. Honestly, that's a tough one, dude. T2 is clearly a better movie.
I don't know.
But T1...
It's got a bigger budget.
Right. But T1 has... I like the plot. I don't know. It's more... I like when... T2 is cool, but the liquid guy pisses me off after a while. It's like too unfair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, his advantages.
This motherfucker, you can blow him up. You can do all this shit to him. The guy always just melts back into fucking, you know, it just got annoying where T1 was like, you know, he'd fuck his eye up or, you know, he'd like lose a fucking hand or whatever. Like, I don't know. It was just more realistic is a dumb word, but it was more realistic.
Right.
The parts where you could tell the budget was low because the parts where Arnold's in the bathroom, like fucking with his eye or whatever, and you can just see it's this fake ass face.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
So obvious.
1984, you know, like there was
then
no.
The second one, it's like perfect fucking Arnold.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it was 84, dude. Such a good movie though. The first two are amazing. T3 is fucking
nothing
garbage.
worth watching after the first two.
The fourth one was the one with was Tom
Christian
Cruise
Bale.
In that? No, it was
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. It was okay. Like after two, they were just action movies.
Yeah.
They were just mindless.
Well, I don't think James Cameron was involved anymore.
That was really like the beginning of the end of like good movies. I feel like that's where like everybody just started making sequels and fucking prequels and fucking remakes and like real movie making has died. It's very
since
rare.
The year 2000. Since the year 2000, it's been downhill. There was good comedies in the early 2000s, and then those faded out. And there's diamonds in the rough, but now I'm pretty much watching movies from the 1970s. I'm really fixated in that decade right now.
I don't know if I'd go 2000s. I'd probably go like 2010, like that. Like I think the movies Leo made in the 2000s were really good, like Blood Diamond.
There's some good ones.
The one where he's all crazy on that island. I forget the name of that, but it's a good one. There was a lot of good stuff back then. But the last 10 years, I'd say, just dog shit. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah, it's not good. Well, a lot of the talent went to the TV shows.
Yeah,
I'm not.
That is true. There's a lot of good that has changed. There's been way more good TV shows. It used to just be HBO.
Yeah,
and now you know there's a
but
lot.
Now
of
that's
shit on, like,
really
Apple.
watered down now. that's really watered down now. There's so much content. It's hard to find the good stuff.
Well, that's the plus side for me of just not watching much TV.
Yeah, I don't like to get involved in shows. I don't have the time.
Shutter
I'd rather
Island,
watch.
yeah, that one's
Yeah,
sick.
I'd rather watch it.
Woke,
You know,
Woke took over. That's a good way to look at it.
that's been pretty bad. I'd rather watch an 1.5 to 2.5 hour movie because then I'm done. You know, I don't want to get involved in an 8-season, 15 episode per season.
I don't mind that.
thing.
What bothers me is the 3+ hour ones that constantly come out now. Oppenheimer, fucking the Leo one that was good, but it was just too long. The Flower Moon one.
Yeah, I need to see that.
It was a good movie, but it was just so fucking long. The Joker was good.
Dude, that movie was great.
Oh, the sequel looks good too.
I'm gonna go see that.
Yeah, I don't go to movies anymore, but I want to see that. There's been a couple movies the past few years that have been good, but it's literally like a handful a year, where it used to be like every month there'd be at least one good movie you could watch.
I'm telling you, that's why I was excited to go see Twister, because I actually went to the theater and enjoyed myself. There's been 50 times in the last 10 years where I went to the theater and I was like, 2 thumbs down, get me out of here. You know, at least I was like, this was fun. I had fun. I enjoyed this ride from the time I got on to the time I left.
Sequel / remake.
I know, dude. I'm really
there's no original ideas anymore.
I know. I'm really down on all this, but they did it well. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, and they also had a preview for Beetlejuice. I was like, I guess we're bringing this one out of the grave too.
You know what was good? What was the one I watched not too long ago? Well, I watched the one about the dudes in World War II, the fighter guy, the guys on the bombers. That was really good. The hell was that called? You guys know what it's called. Very good. And then there was a movie I watched. It was an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Which one?
The one with the cabin. Did you see that one? Came out in the last year.
No.
I don't think it's called Cabin in the Woods, because I know that's like an old scary movie, but it's something like that, and it is fucking good, dude. The plot is wild. Like, he always does wild shit. But this one is, it's wild. No, it's not 1970. Oh, Dune 2 was good. Dune was but the second one was great. That's a series I like. 1917, that was not it. I didn't like that one. Stabbing Cabin. No. There's a Gladiator sequel. Yeah, they're gonna fuck that up.
Denzel is in it.
They're gonna fuck that up big time. Denzel hasn't made shit except for Equalizers in the last however many years.
Have you ever seen Ricochet?
No.
That's a
Knock
Denzel
at the
movie
Cabin.
from the 90s.
I don't think that's it either, but it could be.
Kev, you should rent Ricochet.
M. Night Shyamalan Cabin.
Ricochet has
Knock at
Denzel
the
and John
Cabin,
Lithgow.
dude. Check out Knock at the Cabin. Very, very good movie. Came out, I don't know, last year or this year. Constantine 2. Is that Keanu again? Constantine is a movie I've seen like 400 times. It is good. Because it was young Shia LaBeouf, too. That movie had good actors in a sort of shitty plot, but a interesting story. It's called Knock at the Cabin or whatever. It's really good.
Groundhog, I don't know if you're being sarcastic because people are just decimating that Borderlands movie right now.
That's a video game, dude. Video game movies 0%. Are never good. The only video game movies, no, I take it back. They're not movies. They're shows that are good. Is Last of Us is phenomenal on HBO, and on Prime they did a Fallout show, and it's fucking good. The Fallout show is excellent, but usually any video game that turns into a movie is absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
All right, let me Mandalorian. All the Star Wars bullshit. That's gone very woke as well, if you want to use that term. All right, let me pull it up. Oh, I have it up. Hashtag Venom. We have 63 entries and 110 people. You sure you guys don't want to win this knife? Fallout and Cyberpunk? There's a Cyberpunk show? That game was a fucking disaster. Van Helsing. Van Helsing was not based off a video game, Todd. God. Van Helsing is based off of fucking Dracula lore.
Yeah, it's from Bram Stoker's Stoker's Dracula.
I don't know. Maybe the plot is from a video game. I don't know. But the Hugh Jackman one, I actually watched that a bunch of times too. I liked it, and I liked Underworld. I always liked that sci-fi shit when I was younger.
Let's do this drawing, fool.
I could crush beers and fucking watch sci-fi movies. All right. There's only that many people, though.
You ever watch the movie Scanners from David Cronenberg?
No.
It's like an early film of his from Canada. It's a lot of it really poorly acted, but there's a scene in the beginning. Hey, Michael, good score. There's a scene in the beginning where this guy makes Michael Ironside makes this dude's head explode, and like it's just classic.
Wait, Michael Ironside. I feel like I know that.
You do know him. He's in Starship Troopers. He's in a lot of those 80s and 90s movies.
Oh, okay.
Like a menacing looking guy.
Yeah, dude. Congrats. Shoot me an email. LeftyEDC88@gmail.com. You didn't order a NIP Lite, did you? Send them together. Shoot me an email with your address. I'll get it out to you. I'll try to do it tomorrow, but I'm going to get through all the NIP orders first.
Michael Ironside's in Total Recall.
Possessor. The original Total Recall?
Yeah, the original. He's the one who's like chasing Arnold Schwarzenegger throughout the movie.
Michael Ironside. Oh,
look
dude,
at the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You mean you mean Jack Nicholson Jr.?
Yeah, exactly. He's got that same like.
Dude, I used to literally think he was Jack Nicholson when I was like, sometimes it's like hard to differentiate these guys. That's Jack Nicholson, dude.
Yeah, they've got a similar grimace.
That's funny. But yeah, I know that guy for sure. He's in a bunch of shit.
Yep. There's Scanners right there, 1981. See it? Yeah, that movie. These are classic sci-fi movies, dude. The head exploding scene is classic.
I don't think I've
There's the picture of the head exploding.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, dude. I've seen Starship Troopers, Total Recall. Nobody was okay. Top Gun. Highlander. Turbo Kid? Jesus, some weird shit. Interesting.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Yep. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ben, for coming on. It's always a pleasure, sir. Pick up a Venom Jack tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Where they say compass and water, Eastern time zone.
There's links down below in the description. It does help the channel if you use those. So, you could use them. But up to you. There's a bunch of places to get them. There's a dealer list down there somewhere too. And anything you wanted to say, Ben? I think we talked about the Facebook group a little bit.
Yeah, Facebook group is Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide. Would love for you guys to join. My email list is a good place to get announcements on what we got going on. We've got a lot of cool merch drops coming up over the next few months. I've been kind of accumulating that stuff, and we're finally starting to roll some cool things out. So,
are you still doing the giveaway, the monthly?
We stopped doing it because like those posts would get flagged and throttled so bad every single time. It just became not worth it. Like the post would get nuked, and then we were getting the amount of signups we would get was going way down, and then everybody had already signed up in the past, so I wasn't getting new emails anymore. So I just stopped.
Maybe it's something you got to stop for like 6 months and then
probably
or wait till after the election and see if Instagram eases up.
Yeah, dude, it's never going to get better for us. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just the way it is.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We appreciate you. And, I'll see you next Thursday. And, love you guys. Peace.
Later.